We welcome you to DeVere Fair Stadium on the campus of Decatur Central High School. One of our favorite summer traditions on the ISC Sports Network, the IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. The North wearing the blue tonight, the South in red. We expect this one to be a great contest and a wonderful send-off. A lot of these young men are heading off to play college football in the fall, but for some of them, this will be the final time they will put on the pads in a competitive game. We'll take this quick timeout. We'll come back. Opening kickoff comes your way next as you're watching the IFCA North-South Classic on ISC.
A Wabash man, if we do our job right, it's the guy who doesn't check any one box.
I think it gives the students a large toolkit to be able to problem solve.
It's a place where young men can grow up and learn the skills necessary to go out and have an impact on the world after they graduate.
One of the great gifts that I got at Wabash was not a specialized skill set that was going to be applicable in my first job out of college, but it was really a commitment to working in groups, lifelong learning, and just a passion for life in general.
There is such a rich tradition of success and accomplishment here. When you think about all of the things that Wabash men go and do after they graduate, why would you not want to be a part of that?
First Federal can help remodel your home, consolidate your debt, or supply some spending cash with our home equity line of credit. Our standard home equity line of credit allows you to draw funds for up to 10 years and has no closing costs for qualified customers. Take advantage of this great opportunity by applying at firstfederalbanking.com.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best.
Back to Decatur Central, thanks to Justin Dixon and staff for hosting us for a second consecutive year for this Midsummer Classic. Tonight's game on the ISC Sports Network presented by Coca-Cola of Kokomo, North Central Indiana's Coca-Cola bottler for over 100 years. By Endeavor Communications, internet speeds up to a gig. Learn more at weendeavor.com. By First Federal Savings Bank, a locally owned bank designed to fit your needs. By the Gridiron Gang, developing skills on and off the field. Log on to the original gridirongang.com for more information. By the Indy Card Exchange, buy, sell, rent, or even invest at IndyCardExchange.com. By the Indy 11, World's Game, Indiana's team, and home each of the next two Saturday nights. 2-for-1 deals, both nights available. By 9-Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. 9-Star Connect, who knew? By SEI Communications, Southern Indiana's most diverse telecommunications provider. And by Wabash College. Schedule your visit now at wabash.edu. Lance, it's like I haven't seen you forever. Or maybe we spent all day golfing. One of the two. It is great to be back in a broadcast booth with you, knowing from tonight we are 6 weeks out from the start of the high school football season.
This really is a special night for all these players, their families, their communities, schools across the state of Indiana. It's a great job by the IFCA to put this great event on. Having played in it back in 1985 is always fond and dear to my heart to come back and watch this game and see these players play for the last time as high school players. So it's very exciting.
So the South team wearing the red uniforms tonight. The North team is in blue. The South won the toss and elected to defer, so we'll see the North get the football first. Again, the Indianapolis area kids populate the south end of the roster. So the North, you've got Lafayette, the region, South Bend, Fort Wayne, etc. But again, Lance, there are players from all 6 classifications, and there are players from all 10 regions, according to the Indiana Football Coaches Association.
The IFCA does such a fantastic job of making sure that's a true representation of all the best players from across the entire state, which is why we have this great crowd here, great communities. And last time to say goodbye and thank you to these great players and great programs.
The players that are playing at the Division I level or the FBS level, for the most part, they are not here because they are already on campus for the coming season. But what you'll hear us talking about a lot of kids at the FCS level and tremendous talents going to the Division II, Division III, and NAIA level. Most, not all, in the state of Indiana. But again, Lance, there's a handful of players that know this is the final football game they're going to play.
And that's the hardest part. You've done this since your second, third, fourth grade, and you've grown up with this. It's been a big part of your family's life, not just your life as a player, but just what you identified with. And so it's such a great game. It's such a great venue. Thank you to Justin Dixon and Decatur Central for having this here tonight, but it should be a lot of fun.
Kurt Tippett on your screen. Of course, he helped lead Snyder to the 5A state championship back on Thanksgiving weekend. He gets to coach Uriah Buchanan, amongst others, on the north side this evening. Trevor Henkel from Zionsville High School. He'll get used to those colors. He's playing at the University of Dayton coming up in the fall in the Pioneer Football League. He'll be kicking things off. 2 receivers back deep, amongst those DJ Young from Lafayette Jefferson High School and Reese Beard, also the North Central Conference, representing Kokomo. It is a warm and muggy evening. We thank you for joining us. This will be Beard at the 3-yard line. Reese, a 2-sport star at Kokomo. Look at a basketball player at Kokomo as well. Takes this back to the 22-yard line. Both these players go too deep, and we obviously will see a rotation at nearly every position. As far as the North is concerned, at the quarterback position, you'll see Nolan McCullough of Penn and Owen Rader, who helped lead Northwood in the 4A state championship game this year.
No, our own, was a state leader this year in passing yards with a little less than 3,500 yards and 40 touchdowns. We're looking forward to watching Owen play.
But it is going to be McCullough that gets the nod here to start this game. And in the backfield with him will be Dontel Harris from Hammond Morton. Make the handoff, quick hitter on the slant. Good solid gain. Good play to kind of get the juices flowing. Catch is made by T.J. Caldwell, the Hobart rookie that'll play at Valparaiso.
Everyone's excited about playing right now, so you're amped up. I like the idea of just a quick screen pass out to your receiver. Kind of relaxes everybody and kind of calms everyone down.
And these guys have had 3 or 4 days of training, but again, there is nothing to replicate going full pads at speed because it's obviously been a long time for these young men to do that. And we're frankly going to have a lot of flags because, again, it's been 8, 9, 10 months these guys, again, have lined up in this sort of situation.
Well, a lot of these guys, are going on to the next level, so they've been working out. But there are a handful of guys, as you alluded to earlier, their last time playing football, so they're not doing the normal summer routine. So the biggest thing right now is just kind of get out of the gate, get acclimated to game time speed again, and that normally doesn't take too long for these great players.
Jeff Machete is the starting center. Young man from Crown Point. Of course, his team played for the 6A championship. He's going to go play at a great Division III school, Case Western Reserve, up in northern Ohio. 2nd and 12. Pressure coming on the screen, and that did not look right from the start. The intended target was not even close to that. Liam Lancaster was the player closest to it. Bad news is he's the right tackle. 3rd down and a dozen.
Yeah, I think that was going to Liam Deerdorf. He was got tackled and held up by the defensive line, which is a great job that time by them and not letting that play develop.
Line to gain for the North is the 32-yard line on 3rd down and a dozen. Safety back about 15 yards. Again, pressure applied. Deep ball thrown, man open. Caught in stride. It is a foot race to the end zone. He will not be caught. T.J. Caldwell, 80 yards on the reception. And how about that start for the North?
Great job, great throw. Love the timing of it, love the play call, but DJ does a great job of catching that in stride here. Again, great protection. Love how, again, Nolan just stood in there and then delivered a strike here. And I love what TJ does. Played at Hobart, going on to play at Valpo, but finishes the play. Great start for the North.
And I'm not sure if this was the design, because obviously McCullough had locked him in, as you can see on the replay, the entire time. But he threw it opposite the side of the deep safety. Well-designed play for the North.
I just like the presence of how Nolan came out, looked the safety off. The safety kind of flipped his hips the opposite direction. Great start for the North.
Austin DeLeon from Norwell is on to kick the extra point try for the North as they jump out to only 6-0 lead, 60 seconds in. High snap, no problem. Kick is up, and it is good. We'll take this 30-second timeout. The South will try to answer when we come back to DeVere Fair Stadium. You're watching the IFCA North-South All-Star Classic on ISC.
Want lightning-fast internet speeds? Choose Endeavor. Go from slow to whoa. From last to fast. And wait to great. Endeavor Communications is bringing the fastest internet speed in Indiana to your town, so you can download huge files in a flash, stream videos at blazing speeds, and game online faster than you thought possible. Think fast and contact Endeavor Communications today at join.weendeavor.com.
Tonight's game on ISC is also presented to you in part by the Indy Card Exchange. Now, for more than 30 years, the Indy Card Exchange has been your trusted source for buying and selling sports cards of all kinds. And they are changing the game and how you can get your cards graded completely online. Go to IndyCardExchange.com for more info and see how you can make money off of your collection. Well, sometimes the offenses tend to lag behind in this game. Not the problem for the North. They scored an 80-yard touchdown play on their third play of the game.
Well, I like what Kurt Tippmann did. He got the ball out of his quarterback's hands early, and then again took a three-step drop and threw the go route. Again, didn't take a lot of time. Helped your offensive line out that time by getting rid of the ball so quickly. Great start for Kurt Tippmann and the North.
Opoku and Contreras back deep to return for the South. Of course, Contreras, a player we saw a lot of on ISC, and that ball takes him into the end zone, and in about a month he can bring that ball out. But right now we're playing under high school rules. Alvin is going to play at the University of Indianapolis. That's a good pickup by the alma mater because he is both an outstanding defensive back and a pretty good punter as well.
Chris Keever has done a great job at UND, and it just continues to win with Indiana kids. Has done a nice job. There's a bunch of kids in this game that are coming to UND. The one thing Chris has done, he's got a culture there that they expect to win, and they do often.
Jaron Alley from Bloomington South is going to play for Mike Yurimovich at Butler coming up this fall, and everybody got a little anxious. There's going to be a free 5 yards. We have now seen matching procedural penalties against both offenses so far.
Kind of normal. It's kind of like almost like a week one game for us, for fans. You just get out there, get the jitters out a little bit.
In the backfield is Garrett Sherrill. Played for John Hart at Brownsburg, and to play at the University of Annapolis, and expect a heavy dose of Sherrill tonight. You can see why. From 1st and 15 to 2nd and a yard, let's face it, there have been a pretty good lineage the last 15 years of tailbacks to play at UND. They think Garrett has the chance to be the best of that group.
When I saw Chris Keevers in June, he said, Lance, we got the best player in the state of Indiana. We really feel like he should not be here. He is fantastic. We love him to death, and he is something that they feel is going to be really special.
Quick hitter out in the flat. Catch made, enough for a first down. Not a big game, but certainly good enough. That is Caden Ollinger, also from Brownsburg. Brownsburg, one of the handful of schools that has two players represented in this game. Ollinger picks up 4 yards. It's a first down for the South.
Caden can scoot. We saw him against Ben Davis and have just a great game, but he can flat fly.
And I promise this is not an infomercial for the alma mater, but Caden is also going to play at the University of Indianapolis coming up in the fall.
Hey, I'm telling you, there's a reason why the Hounds are winning so much. They're getting good players.
Student body left that time, and Sherrill just follows his blockers and follows the wall. He picks up 5, second down and 5. Amongst those playing up front, Luke Ravel from Columbus North, who is an Indiana or a National Football Foundation Scholar Athlete Award winner from Columbus North High School. Logan Parrish of Hagerstown going to play at Indiana Wesleyan. Amongst those playing up front currently on the offensive line. Second and 5. Just a 4-man rush. Quick hitter, catch made. Able to fit that between 2 defenders. First down and a pickup on the play of 12 yards. Colin Guy from Bishop Chatard able to make the grab.
Colin had an incredible career at Chatard, leading them to multiple state championships. Great job, great timing there. I like what Jake Gilbert's doing early on and just kind of getting the quarterback very comfortable early on.
Colin's going to stay and play at Marian University. We'll see him a lot on ISC. Handoff goes to Sherrill. This time, limited to a gain of just 2. Keegan Bloom of Adams Central amongst those on to make the play. Second and long.
Great job by Bloom. I love to watch defensive players play with their hands and just have great angles, and Bloom did a great job there of taking on blocks, getting to the ball carrier at the proper time and great angles.
Now, Keegan is going to play at Purdue. Potentially could walk on there, but again, also may just be going to Purdue as a student. Second and 8. Again, 4-man rush. Catching the flat, that's Guy. That's going to be good for a first down. And it's pretty impressive if you've got kind of that relationship with the receiver already and you've spent 4 days playing together in practice.
Folks, these players are really good. They are fantastic. They're some of the best players in our state, and it's something that that it doesn't take them long to get back into a rhythm. I know we played in this game. We threw all summer leading up to it, and so we felt like that we were in good rhythm by the time that we got here.
Split backs in the backfield. Grayson Thomas from New Pal gets the handoff, and he gets a yard, maybe 2. Amongst theirs there to meet him, Keith Miller again. Northwood amongst those teams that gets 2 players in the game. Coach Andrews' team, frankly, deserves that on a year-by-year basis. Second and long.
I love Nate Andrews. He's one of my favorite coaches, and then watch him on the sideline. His energy is static, electric.
There is no one more intense than Coach Andrews. No one.
He has a lot of fun, but boy, they win a lot of games.
Second down and 8. Again, in the flat. Catch made. That's the 3rd of this drive for Colin Guy. You know, it used to be if you played receiver at Chatard, you might get 3 catches all season. He has 3 on this drive. Different era under Coach Doyle at Chatard. It's going to be first down.
Rob Doyle has won his way at Chatard. I give him a lot of credit. I really think the world of what he's done. Took over for one of my favorite people in Vince Lorenzano. But again, different ways of winning. And Vince did his way and was incredible. A lot of success. Rob has not missed a beat doing it his way.
Now let's congratulate Vince. He's going to get the Cathedral High School Hall of Fame this year. Congratulations, Coach. Alley, catch made. Speaking of Cathedral, that is Keith Long is going to play for Coach Removich at Butler. He makes the grab down about the 18-yard line, and obviously we saw Cathedral in a classic regional game against Ben Davis.
One of the best games I've had the pleasure of witnessing, and just a back and forth, and Keith did a great job, and they just, again, Cathedral had the ball late, had a chance, but boy, it was a fantastic game.
Frankly, the offenses don't normally look this good off the jump in this game. This is certainly of note. Handoff, not much room there. Sherrill, though, breaks away. Flag comes down. I think there's going to be a hold on the play.
Face mask.
But again, or is it a face mask
so.
on Sherrill? So tack on more yards. But what you just saw from Garrett Sherrill is why they are so giddy about him. One township over at UIndy playing his college football here in the city of Indianapolis.
Garrett is just a special player, and talking with John Hart, just again, work ethic, in the weight room, off the field. Watch the face mask here. Again, he gets all of it. If you're going to get it, get all of it, and McGee did from Maryville.
Unfortunately for Rashawn McGee, we mentioned his name for a penalty, not a tackle. But he's an outstanding player at Maryville. Obviously, the Pirates been a great program. He's going to play at Wayne State up in Michigan. Outstanding Division II program.
I tell you what, if you're playing from Maryville, you're playing for a great program, and it just and again, going to Wayne State's huge.
Handoff, a yard or 2. That is Grayson Thomas that gets the grab. Gets a yard at most. Last player to get off the pile for the North is Nick Johnson from Highland High School. It's going to be a Valparaiso beacon going forward.
Landon Fox done a great job there at Valparaiso, and he continues to build a program there. Really happy for Landon, as well as Jurovich at Butler. He is, slowly but surely, both those programs are doing great.
The acceleration of the Butler program has been significant the last couple of years. Handoff goes to Sherrill, just biding his time, not much there. Gets a couple, maybe three. Wade Jones of Tippy Valley amongst those to make the play for the North. Bishop Williams was there too. And it sets up 3rd down and goal. And you see Coach Gilbert, his last game as a high school football coach. He is going on to Wabash, where he will be the head coach in waiting. He'll become the head coach in 2025 as Don Morrell will retire from Wabash at the conclusion of this season.
Don's done a great job, but I want to tell you, Wabash, you hit a home run. Jake Gilbert is one of the best to ever coach on any high school sideline. He'll do wonders at his alma mater.
Garrett Sherrill bounces off the tackle, dives to the pylon, and we get ourselves a football game. 80-yard play for the North, and then a touchdown drive of nearly 80 yards for the South. And they're an extra point away from tying this one up.
This is not normal, folks. Both offenses have really executed very well. Look at Sherrill, how he gets off that first tackler. It's hard to bring him down. Legs never stop moving. Great answer by the South after the North scored.
These offenses look like they've had 4 weeks of practice, not 4 days.
Well, they have really looked sharp. And, folks, normally it's a race to 14 or 17, but we're off to a great start.
Henkel on for the extra point try. This one is up and good. Again, we'll sneak aside for 30 seconds. Halfway through the opening quarter, both teams have scored on their opening drive. Back to DC in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
Want to thank a new sponsor on the ISC Sports Network, our friends at SEI Communications. They are Southeastern Indiana's most diverse telecommunications provider with offerings ranging from lightning fast, fiber optic internet to data center solutions and fiber transport. Visit SEIcommunications.com or call 888-200-8077 for availability today. And SEI wants to congratulate Dylan Maxwell of East Central, representing our corner of the state, tonight's North-South All-Star Classic. Jake Miners is on the coaching staff, and oh my goodness, what a team East Central has had. I mean, it's been a great program for 30 years, but the last 2 years, jaw-dropping talent in St. Leon.
They have been elite, to say the least, and they have really taken it to another level. Jake has done an amazing job of building on a great tradition. He played there, was assistant coach there, and now the head coach, but he really has done some special things with East Central.
Let's also thank our friends at First Federal Savings Bank. We'll congratulate Trey Thomas of Mishawaka, representing the Cavemen in tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. Come to First Federal, don't feel like another number at your bank. We offer simply free checking, mortgage lending, and commercial lending. Make the switch to First Federal Savings Bank today.
What I'm real excited about, normally in these games I can tell early if one side is more dominant, more physical, faster. Right now both look very even. Both have great skill players looking good up front. Defenses have bent but haven't broke all the way with, and so I'm anxious just to see how the North now responds after starting the way they did, and I'm curious to see what the adjustments the South make in the secondary to not have that broken coverage allow for a quick score.
And Reese Beard and TJ Caldwell back deep to return. This will just get in the end zone for a touchback. Let's take this chance to thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew, because it's a little hot working out there today. So thanks to Vince Morales, Brian Pierce, David Kahn, Jacob Kripe, Eldon Wheeler, Eric Connett. Guys, thank you very much, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys each and every Friday night starting 6 weeks from now, folks. Our week one offerings, plural on ISC. Sounds like I'm talking about regional and semi-state matchups. We'll break that down coming up at halftime. So here's Owen Rader. McCullough got the first drive and a touchdown. Rader gets the next opportunity. Again at Northwood, handoff at a yard or two. That is Uriah Buchanan. So how about that backfield? Two players that finished their seasons at Lucas Oil Stadium.
Well, Buchanan was fantastic. We saw Fort Wayne Snyder play in the first game against Warren Central, and I looked at you and said they're going to be the state champs.
Both you and I said we're going to see them again Thanksgiving weekend.
Kurt
Absolutely.
Tippmann, folks, is as good as we have in our state. I think the world of the tradition that they have at Fort Wayne Snyder, he's carried that on nicely.
And congratulations to our buddy Ted Karras. Ryan's going to go play at Marion. He'll be a difference maker there in his time on the near northwest side. Again, the handoff to Buchanan. He'll get 2, maybe 3. Javian Jones, who knows a thing about patrolling the defensive line here at D.C. They were a state runner-up last year as well. Jones in on the tackle.
Jones plays for one of my favorite guys, and Kyle Enright, his dad, legendary coach, and Dave Enright saw Kyle before the game and has had a great summer and has done great things here at Decatur.
And Javian's going to play at Indiana State, another guy we like a lot, Kurt Mallory.
One of the best that we have in our state.
Pressure coming. Raider able to avoid it for a moment. Docked under one rusher, but along came Jones. Javian Jones gets the sack in his final game here at Decatur Central.
Great job by Jones and Oxley both. They kind of meet there, have a little meeting at the quarterback. Didn't go great for Owen there, but nice job of getting pressure there by the South. Great answer from their last possession.
So back to punt is Carson Kitchell of West Lafayette. Lance doing his coaching duty, making sure he was counting the proper number of players.
I think they've got 12. I think the South has 12 right now, but no flags, so obviously I can't count.
Low line drive kick. Here's Contreras. Used to connecting on punts, not used to returning them. Flag or two will come in, and what was going to be a short field for the South will be a little further back, a little behind midfield. While this penalty gets assessed, let's thank our friends at 9-Star Connect. Who knew that 9-Star Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in the state? In fact, 9-Star can offer speeds up to 10 gig. Try getting that from any other provider. 9-Star wants to congratulate Aaron Redmond of Eastern Hancock for representing Hancock County in tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. 9-Star Connect, who knew?
Call it a hole, but it was really a 2-point takedown. I'm not sure it was a hold there, but great job of getting there's a reason why there was a little bit of a lane there.
I do know that we had at least one wrestler in this group that qualified for the state finals, and Aiden Beatles, so I'm not saying he committed the penalty. There's some wrestling talent that's on the field tonight as well.
Yeah, most of these players played multiple sports at the high school level, and it's great to see them again playing their last football game here tonight.
The gold helmet indicates that Jackson Gilbert is on the field, again from Westfield, playing for his dad, and he will do that in college as he will follow him to Wabash coming up in the fall. And that gives us the first of many, many, many chances to promote the fact that we are your home for the Monon Bell Classic on the ISC Sports Network. We are thrilled to partner with two great institutions like Wabash and DePauw to bring it to you for a fourth consecutive year.
If you've never been to a Bell game, you need to go. It's one of the cool bucket list type of things for you, and I know that we're excited about covering it, but it is a great event.
Gilbert slings it long, only picks up a yard. Good coverage by the North, and it is now 3rd down and 6.
Good to see defenses both kind of settling in here a little bit offensively. Early on, defenses are flying around and they kind of overrun things. Now they're kind of to power down a little bit here and make it a little harder for the offenses to move the ball.
When you're an offensive lineman, it's a service position. Sometimes you got to tie the shoes of the wide receiver. Then you get the free 5 yards because the player from the North got a little anxious in terms of getting his jump on the play.
3rd and 1 now. That's a nice job by Jackson Gilbert of his voice inflection, being able to get that done. Also, Jackson now is tying the shoes of his receiver, so nicely done.
That is Eric Pohl that was the guilty party. Eric plays at Warsaw, and how about this? We're going to see Coach Curtis and the Warsaw Tigers in week 2 on ISC when they come out and play Warren Central. It'll be our game that week. Thomas will have the first down. Needed 1, picked up 4, of course. Grayson had that tremendous experience of playing for Kyle Ralph at New Pal.
one of the best to patrol the sidelines. Grayson again had almost or a little over 2,300 yards and 33 touchdowns, going on to play at Dayton.
Yep.
Great place.
Of course, a tremendous Division III power back before the days of having to play at the 1AA or now FCS level. Playing the Pioneer Football League. Will get to play a lot here in the Midwest.
I know a lot about Dayton, as my wife is a Dayton grad, so I hear about Dayton a lot.
Ball slung to the sidelines. Catch is made. That is Logan Schaffner from Noblesville.
Logan is the all-time leading rusher for Noblesville. Fantastic player, just a great young man.
And my guess would be before you retired from teaching, you may have had Logan in class at Noblesville, perhaps?
Yeah, Logan was a youngster before he got to me. He was just a freshman when I got done playing our coaching.
On the handoff, it's Thomas. And Thomas off right, bounces 3 and has a first down. Looks like he's going to be taking about a 5 or 6 yard gain and had other ideas. First down for the South.
Great job by Grayson there. And what I love about great backs, their legs never stop churning. The guy that wins the battle on contact and who can restart their legs the fastest. In that case, Grayson did a fantastic job of doing that and thus picked up more yards after contact.
Ball spotted at the 34-yard line. South being just as efficient in drive number 2 as they were in drive number 1. Gilbert throwing the deep ball. Schaffner's by his lonesome, and he will waltz in the end zone for a touchdown. No flags on the play. Back-to-back sixes for the South, and they have the lead for the first time.
Great throw by Jackson. Phenomenal route and catch by Logan. Great job of making a difference in this game. Great answer by the South now, putting 2 back-to-back scores. And again, Rake, this is not a normal North-South game for us so far. A lot of offense, pretty play, great play design, great execution by Logan Schaffner.
By the way, how about the Noblesville kid catching the pass from the Westfield kid and having the Westfield logo on his helmet? Again, I love that tradition in All-Star games. Put as many different logos on that lid of yours as you possibly can. So the extra point is up and good by Henkel. We'll stay right here with the quarter break coming up. Let's thank our friends, the Original Gridiron Gang. They believe that budget limitations shouldn't lead to football limitations. Go to the originalgridirongang.com, click on the Foundation tab, learn more about how their training services can be provided at limited or no cost to underrepresented communities and members of military families. The Original Gridiron Gang, developing skills on and off the field. And this is the part of the broadcast where I look at a key piece of the Original Gridiron Gang and say, Lance, what's new?
Well, we're just finishing up our training. We're excited about how we've gone from January through July, and looking forward to now running our inter-city leagues and our also league for our Gridiron Development League, which is basically a travel league. And so we're looking forward to that, a great tournament at the Grand Park Complex over Halloween. So it will be a busy fall for us, but it's been a great year for us.
So 5th drive of the quarter. It has certainly been a possession advantage for the South as they have had 2 lengthier drives in both their scores. Pretty much one big play for the North. As you say, DJ Young back deep to return. And I will let the folks in Lafayette know you will get a lot of tight shots of DJ Young today because he played at Lafayette Jeff, much as our director Vince Morales played at Lafayette Jeff. So DJ's going to be focused a lot on our broadcast today. And I don't blame Vince a bit for that.
Well deserved. Pat Shanley has done an incredible job at Lafayette Jeff. Keeps winning and does great things and producing players to play in this game.
So this drive starts at the 20-yard line, and again, it'll be McCullough that will go back out. So we've seen both coaches rotate quarterbacks on a drive-by-drive basis.
And as hot as it is today, everyone's going to be happy to have subs to be able to play. And so, everyone has earned the right to play in this game. Both staffs do a great job of making sure everyone is rotated in.
It made us be 11-11, frankly, every other series, given the heat and humidity tonight. So McCullough an 80-yard completion, his last throw of the game. 8-man box on the handoff, and that 8-man box was tough to run into. Elijah Schenkel amongst those on to make the play. Played at Franklin Central High School. The ball carrier, Dontel Harris from Hammond Morton.
Elijah played at FC, as you said, going on to Findlay. over in Ohio will do a great job. Jason West has done a great job there, Frank Central, and is getting them back to their winning ways, and really happy to see what Jason's doing.
Of course, there's a former Findlay Oiler with the Indianapolis Colts these days in Drew Ogletree. Did spend 1 year at Youngstown State, but primarily played at Findlay in his college days. Quick hitter, indeed, in multiple fronts, because that was Caldwell before he could think about putting that ball away. Alvin Contreras led the thump, and there is his old high school teammate and Drew Evans first to congratulate him.
Contreras read this bubble screen. He and Andrew both were there to make a play.
And Andrew's brother that you may have heard of is here tonight, Chris, who played at Michigan and for the Cincinnati Bengals, in attendance at tonight's game.
Talked to Chris before the game. He's excited for Andrew going to Ball State. We'll do really good things there at Ball State.
Great family. 3rd down and 10. 4-man rush. McCullough steps up. Now going to try to tuck it and run. Can he get there? Yes, sir. First down, McCullough, and he picks up 13 yards.
Great job by Nolan of keeping his composure, keeping his poise. And what I love here, all your quarterbacks out there, look how he steps up in the pocket. Doesn't try to escape outside, but steps up where he's got his protection and then has awareness to get the first down.
Let's also acknowledge the head coach he played for, Corey Yeoman, stepping away at Penn High School. Again, what a wonderful job he did, filling some very big shoes when he stepped up and took that job.
Corey is one of the best and finest people that we've ever had coach in our state, and just year in and year out produce great kids and just carry on a great tradition that Penn has had for a long time.
So unfortunately our clock is kind of stuck at 1:42. I can tell you there's about 25 seconds left to go here in that quarter, and there may not be another snap before we get to the end of the quarter. I don't think there will be. McCullough on the keeper picks up 3. That's it, and that's all for a very entertaining first quarter of action. South 14, North 7. We'll come back with second quarter action next from DeVere Fair Stadium as you're watching the 2024 IFCA North-South All-Star Classic on ISC.
When Dad started Peterman in 1986, he did so with a commitment to creating a new kind of heating and cooling company.
One where we take care of our people so our people can take care of you.
This philosophy has enabled Peterman Brothers to grow into the #1 Indiana-owned heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical provider.
So the next time you have a heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical need,
call your local leader and let the Peterman Brothers family take care of yours.
Tonight's game presented in part by Coca-Cola of Kokomo. I want to congratulate Blake Hughes of West Central, representing the Trojans tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. Coca-Cola of Kokomo, proud to keep Blake's classmates and teammates hydrated, both in the classroom and on the gridiron at West Central High School. Find out more at cckokomo.com. And as you can tell from that shot there, Bart Curtis, we referenced the Warsaw Tigers coming down to Indianapolis to play Warren Central coming up in week number 2. This is like Thanksgiving weekend for coaches. Everybody kind of comes to Indy and catches up and gets together this annual summer tradition.
It is great to look to our left here and see the whole end zone full of coaches and families of coaches, and it's just great for us. It's the last really big weekend that we can kind of relax a little bit before everything starts here in just a couple weeks, and so it's really neat to be able to see that and to see the representation here for this great tradition.
Quick check of the first quarter stats. Garrett Sherrill, 6 carries, 32 yards and a touchdown. Grayson Thomas, 5 carries, 17 yards. How about this stat? The 2 South quarterbacks have combined 8 for 8 for 83 yards and a touchdown. The leading rusher for the North is McCullough with 16 yards. He's got an 80-yard completion for a touchdown. TJ Caldwell has both catches so far for the North.
I've been impressed offensively. I really have. I think both teams have done a great job of calling things to get their players involved early, very simple, easy plays. Right now, the biggest difference I see is up front. The South defensive line is starting to take a little more control of this game. And so, again, if you're the North, look for some kind of traps or something that gets things out quick and moving.
Rex Kurtz providing an award. Coach Shanley during tonight's game. Good to see Rex Kurtz for a long time. One of the leading high school football writers in this state.
Blooming Herald Top 33 was a legendary thing for many years. Rex did a great job of recognizing the great players throughout our state, and just is well respected, and think the world of him.
Let's take this pause in the action while more awards are being handed out here, as they always are in this All-Star game, to our friends at First Federal Savings Bank. Wants to congratulate Cameron Lewis of Concord, representing the Minutemen in tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. At First Federal, here to make your dream of owning your own home a reality. We're a locally owned bank you can trust every step of the way. First Federal Savings Bank is FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. It'll be 2nd down and 7 as this quarter begins. Up front, Jeff Machete playing the center position. Ben Rueda of Lowell at left guard. Amongst those up front currently for the North.
Anxious to see what Kurt Tippmann does here. Again, the D-line for the South is starting to make a little bit of a push and dent that offensive line for the North. So I'm anxious to see what their response is from them.
They move an extra back in formation of an extra blocker. It pays some dividends. It's still a bit of a tough slog, but they pick up 3 or 4 and set up 3rd down and short. That extra blocker, by the way, was Eli Deerdorf, tight end from Kankakee Valley at 6'6" and 225.
Eli did a great job. I like how you insert that kind of a wing back in there to isolate on that linebacker. If you got a great fullback, that's when you run the eye. That's when you run those type plays, because you've got to win at point of contact when that fullback hits that linebacker.
So 3rd down and 3 coming up for the North.
Maybe might want to move the pocket here a little bit, or kind of sprint and move to it to give your offensive line a little bit of a
little trap play. Yep. The pull by McCullough.
Like
1st down.
Like it.
A couple of really good play designs there by the North. Again, who address exactly what you've been talking about.
Well, the nice thing, again, misdirection. You got to slow them down a little bit. They're pinning their ears back. Great job of pulling and getting a misdirection play. Nice job, again, by the quarterback of just getting north and south.
Listen, you can let 2 guys take themselves out of the play. The
Yes.
North just did on that play.
No, that's great.
Job well done.
Well, Nolan does a great job of reading it, sees what's happening. The South is attacking the running back. He pulls, gets right behind his pulling right guard, and creates a 1st down and more yards for the South, or the North, I mean.
So ball at the 46-yard line after McCullough's gain, and he is their leading rusher so far. This time it is a handoff to Harrison. Nowhere to go. Tracking him down from behind is Elijah Schenkel, again from Franklin Central. And you know, there's a handful of programs in Indianapolis that let's talk about everybody. Franklin Central's trying to still get adjusted to the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. They are clearly making strides under head coach Jason West.
Jason's done a fantastic job. That play there, again, was a give all the way, because Nolan, your eyes go back to that backside end, and Eli or Elijah is coming downhill. If he pulls it, I think Nolan might still be running.
So 2nd down and 13. 2 minutes into quarter number 2. And we will have a timeout taken by the North, as that was about to be a play clock violation. So a timeout taken by the North. Let's take it with them. 9:57 left to go here in the first half. South 14, North 7, back in 30 on ISC.
We are really heavily involved in the community, so there are multiple different volunteer opportunities that we can go and do.
Volunteer time to share their time and talents with organizations that need not only monetary assistance, but just people's time to help those organizations grow and thrive.
9-Star is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Tonight's game on ISC, presented in part by Perry Kitchen of Approved Mortgage. You may know Perry from his days on an MLS pitch. Today, his pitch is this: finding you the absolute best deal for your mortgage. Contact Perry and Approved Mortgage at 317-509-0929. Approved Mortgage is Central Indiana's oldest locally owned and operated firm, and Perry is ready to help you find your dream home today. And Perry wants to congratulate Peyton Hutchins of Center Grove for representing the Trojans in tonight's game. Peyton is going to play at Indiana Wesleyan. Peyton, of course, his dad, Kevin, longtime member of Eric Moore's staff. Before that, head coach at Monrovia as well. But Peyton went through something as a high school young man that you hope that happens to no one, and that is he lost his mother during the course of the offseason. So we want to wish Peyton, Kevin, and the rest of the Hutchins family all of the best. As, again, he heads off to college, but I said to maybe grow up a little bit faster than any of us would aspire to at this young of an age.
Well, he's got a great family there backing and a great football family as well, and a great leader in Eric Moore, one of my favorite people of all time. To take him through, and his dad, Kevin, is just a gem of an individual as well.
The throw by McCullough. Catch is made by DeMario Spence. Again, he too from Hammond Morton High School. So the Governors have two players that'll both play for Ted Karras, leaning on his region roots to go recruit those players to play for the Knights this coming season.
Look for the Knights to make a big jump this year. Ted Karras knows how to win. Did a great job at Andran for many years before he moved on to Marion and now is back. So he'll do. I expect them to be really good this year.
Third down in a yard on the handoff. Not going to get there.
Nope.
Penetration immediately by Oscar Kirch from Cathedral High School. And the aforementioned Drew Evans on your screen helped to make the play. And that's the rare moment where the Warren Central kid goes to congratulate the Ben Davis kid on the play.
That was a great job by Kirch, and even a better job there by Evans by making sure they kept the running back short of the first down.
You and I had the pleasure of seeing Ben Davis play 4 times in 5 postseason games. Loved watching that team play last year.
Great. They just were connected.
Yeah.
And that's the word, again, even at that level, you've got to be connected to be able to win.
Quarterback Sneak McCullers has to basically find a crevice, and he does. They did one, got two. 4th down conversion for the North.
Great job by McCullough. Again, on quarterback sneaks, you want to pause. I know it sounds weird because everything's happening around you. Pause, let your line have a surge, and then you can just kind of slide in as needed. But guys that just start going right away, normally they don't make it because they don't give their line a chance to do the work.
So clock rolling as we approach 8:20 left to go here in half number 1. A well-played game so far. North trying to get a second score on their 3rd drive of the contest. South 2 for 2. Fake the handoff, McCullough the keeper. This time the South a bit more washed the game. And Colin Jones from Heritage Christian. He'll play at the Division III level at Hope coming up this fall. Makes the play.
Colin had 12.5 sacks this year for Kyle Ray and Heritage Christian. Kyle's done an amazing job there at HC, and I look for big things from Colin as he's going to Hope to play at the next level.
Outstanding program in the MIAA, the Michigan Intercollegiate Athletic Association.
And it's in a beautiful part of Michigan.
Oh, my goodness. Was just there for vacation a couple, 3 weeks ago. Absolutely.
It is beautiful. It's breathtaking, and what a wonderful college.
2nd down and 9. And play clock was down towards 0. The North get a timeout. Yes, the North got a timeout before, so we will keep it here. This timeout presented by our friends at Endeavor Communications. I want to congratulate Jackson Buis of Greencastle for playing tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. Endeavor Communications doesn't just provide ordinary internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play in connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com or call 800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory.
And the North was a little upset there, had to call timeout because the play clock on their end was not working and malfunctioned. And I don't think that Nolan McCullough realized it was going down under 5. So great job by Kurt Tippmann and his staff to get the quick timeout.
As you see on your screen, North is now down to 1 timeout for the remainder of this opening half. Outstanding crowd, a pretty packed stadium, which is what we expect for this game each and every year. Of course, for many years, North Central hosted this. Of course, that makes us think about our friend, the late Paul Logan. His son, Michael, was here to help present kind of a family-endowed scholarship through the IFCA for tonight's contest. We get to see Michael and Will and Kathy a great deal, if not during the football season, during the basketball season at North Central. We will christen a brand-new stadium at North Central on ISC on September the 6th. The pop pass that, frankly, the defensive back had a better read than the tight end did. That was Isaac Gaylor from Fountain Central, who was the intended target. But the defensive back that was closest to it, Stefan Apoku from Bloomington North.
Great job. Isaac did, I'm not sure, got the signal for the pop pass. He played for Herb King, who I saw before the game. And Isaac is going to go play and continue schooling at Ivy Tech. Excited for him.
So 3rd down and 9. All the 34-yard line in potential 4-down territory here. 4-man rush. McCullough throwing the deep ball, and Tell you what, about 10 years ago, that safety would have lit up that wide receiver. Now, just was there to kind of knock the ball away in case need be. That was Brian Wall from Providence.
Played for Jeff Perica at Providence, whose wife is a legendary volleyball coach at Providence as well.
Terry.
And but no, Jeff, the way you're looking at me, he might be a UIndy grad, maybe?
He is not, but I'm going to say he's also going to go play for a Providence grad at Hanover.
Oh, gotcha.
Playing for Coach Theobald.
Yes.
No, you were spot on.
No, he
and the Perica name has now become famous in volleyball in Southern Indiana. Well, it's famous for football in Central Indiana.
No, it's a great family and a great Indianapolis-based family, and they keep winning.
Terry's daughter plays college volleyball at IU Indianapolis. 4th and 9. Kind of got to throw it up there and hope for the best. Opoku had coverage. Harris was the intended target, and that drive stalls. Now the South get the football back.
Got a flag here.
Lead.
Hang on, we've got a flag. I'm not sure if it was a hold out on the perimeter. It looks like that's where it was thrown at. Yep.
Yeah, you'll wipe that off.
Yeah, you're moving the pocket, and the defensive end got upfield. And what happens normally is, as you watch here, great penetration. They pull him down, and a flag's called.
The South gets the football back with a 7-point lead. Well, the parent company of ISC Sports Network is Mulberry Telecommunications. We want to congratulate Levi Osler for an outstanding football career at Clinton Prairie High School and his selection on tonight's game. Mulberry Telecommunications is a wonderful partner of Clinton Prairie High School. Find out more at mintel.net.
Great football there played in Clinton County, and great to see Levi here, and just thank the world of Mulberry and thank them for all they do.
It's the place that we call home?
Yes.
In terms of the ISC Sports Network.
Great setup, great venue. Really excited about what's happening and what's coming up this year with ISC, as us doing multiple games each Friday night. Should be a lot of fun.
I touched on week 1. I'll go ahead and spill the beans now. We will showcase 4 different games, the opening night of the season. Lawrence Central, Lawrence North have moved to week number 1. That's our television game on MyNDTV 23. Homestead travels to Cathedral. We'll have that online. Ben Davis and Cathedral open against each other. We'll have that online. And how about this for an intersectional matchup? Gibson Southern comes to Hendricks County, and they open at Danville. All 4 of those games will be featured on ISCSportsNetwork.com.
It should be a great start of the year. They're now honoring Josh Ringer. His dad on the left was a fraternity brother of mine, and so excited for Brad. And Josh now plays at Miami, Ohio, was Mr. Football last year, led East Central to back-to-back state champions, and is doing a great job with Chuck Martin and the Red Hawks at Miami.
And he is a young man that I think can play there immediately. Yeah. That's how good Josh Ringer is, because he had a lot of major college programs kind of beating on his door. And he said, you know what? I want to stay close to home. Obviously, Miami of Ohio is 30 miles from East Central High School. And I think he can be you'll see him when you watch some November Maction on Tuesday and Wednesday. You might just see him playing for the Red Hawks.
Yeah, he enrolled early, has been there since January, and talked to Brad. He's fitting in great. Talked to Josh towards the end of the spring. Spring ball went well for him. His head was spinning a little bit, as it should be, as he should still be a senior in high school. But he is a stout young man who can run and physically will do some great things at Miami Ohio.
And I can tell you, all those kids obviously put on weight when you get to college. Josh kind of looked like that playing on East Central. Yeah. He was that well put together. Handoff goes to Thomas. Thomas just stringing along the play. Picks up 3 or 4. Great job by Cole Shively of Triton. He's going to play at a Division III powerhouse. North Central College is where he's heading in the fall.
Great job. I like to watch defensive guys run. I like the way they play off of blocks. I like the way, again, just see the fundamentals. That's where I love what our state does. Our coaches are fantastic. Fundamentally, what they're teaching these kids is second to none.
On the handoff, this is a new tailback. First time I had a chance to call his name this evening. That is Dylan Maxwell. Actually, we've said his name just in a promo, but first time we have seen Dylan. And again, think of how good that East Central is. Their 2 key pieces were Ringer and Brotherton, both playing at a Division I level. So instead it's going to be Maxwell that is now joining the fray here for this All-Star game representing East Central.
Yeah, East Central going to Purdue, and even with those great backs, he still rushed for almost 800 yards this last year.
We'll explain his story in a matter of moments. Out in the flat, catch is made by Keith Long. So one of the biggest wins for East Central this year is a great win for Indiana versus Ohio. East Central hosted Archbishop Moeller and beat them. And in that game, they went wing T. And in that game, Dylan Maxwell went back to playing running back and had a huge night because that was not something that Moeller was prepared for back in week number 3.
Well, Jake Miners just, again, shows you how coaching does make a difference. And it was a big win for East Central. The kids played well. It's, don't get me wrong, the development of players that Jake Miners has done over the years has been fantastic.
Alley throwing the deep ball out in the flat. Long, did he grab it? No. He was out of bounds. Jake Gilbert asking for pass interference, won't get it. It'll be second down.
I like the play call because you've got Keith Long, 6'3", 200 pounds. Great job. He high-pointed the ball. Great throw here, just a tad out of bounds. Would like for him to stay on top of the DB a little bit more so it gives the quarterback a chance to kind of throw that fade through the sideline.
That may be the first incompletion of the game thrown by a South quarterback. That's how good they have been on offense so far.
And they didn't miss by much on making it a completion.
Hand off to Thomas. Thomas dances to get what he could. But Keegan Bloom was there waiting for him amongst others. And, of course, Adams Central, they have been so good for so long and just had the unfortunate nature of running into Lutheran these last couple of seasons in terms of the 1A championship game.
And Keegan going to Purdue, I think we'll do some great things there as well. But, boy, just a great career and great job the last 4 years there at Adams Central.
So third down and 8. Alley rolling right side. Tucks it in, runs, and has the first down. Now, we saw that from McCullough earlier, but Alley able to make the play. And he played at Bloomington South.
Played for Gabe Johnson, did a nice job this past year. Upset Bloomington North, who was ranked 1 in the tournament, threw for a little less than 2,800 yards, 38 touchdowns and 4 picks. That's phenomenal.
Fake the handoff on the keep. Shoved out of bounds. Wade Jones over to nudge him in that direction. Wade is going to play at Taylor University coming up in the fall, the Mid-States Football Association.
Boy, when Wade fills out 6'4", 190, can run like that right now. When he fills out, look out, folks. I mean, Taylor's got himself a gym there, and I think Wade will do some fantastic things there at Taylor.
Taylor's trying to find kind of that breakthrough. They've been kind of hovering around 500 the last several years. And again, they've got St. Francis, now Indiana Wesleyan, of course, Marion. Although that league's going to look a little bit different from a divisional alignment this year. Here is the handoff. Good, solid running by Dylan Maxwell. Again, at almost any other high school this year, he's a star tailback, is Dylan Maxwell.
Well, he does a great job. I love his one cut. I love the fact that you've got a 2 or 3 way go, but he sees it, puts his foot in the ground, runs with a lean, takes multiple players to bring him down. Super job there.
So third down and short. It is, frankly, between Sherrill, Thomas, Maxwell, and Schaffner, an embarrassment of riches that the South has in the tailback position. Here's Sherrill for third and short. And Sherrill will have the first down. And Sherrill, as if he were shot out of a cannon, has the touchdown. Give an inch, he'll take a mile. 28 yards for the former Brownsburg Bulldog and soon to be UND Greyhound. And the South has scored for a third consecutive drive.
I talked about defensively, but offensively, well, the South is taking over up front. If you're going to win in any game at any level, it happens up front. And right now, the reason why it's 20-7 is because the South is winning the battle at the point of attack.
Peyton Hutchins at the center position.
Great job.
Right behind him.
Super job.
We are a man short. In fact, we're 2 men short. Need a holder, too. So we sugared the lineman. Poor Torian Langston has to fly out there. It wasn't just him. The holder was slow, too.
A lot of these players were their star players on their team, so didn't have to play special teams as much, and so this is kind of a new for them.
And the extra point try is up and good. South leads at 21-7. I want to thank our friends at Coca-Cola of Kokomo. I want to congratulate Isaiah Jones of Knox representing the Redskins in tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. Coca-Cola of Kokomo proud to keep Isaiah's classmates and teammates hydrated both in the classroom and on the field at Knox. Find out more at cckokomo.com.
Got John Kirshner, son of Mike Kirshner there from Hamilton Heights. John has done an amazing job at Hamilton Heights. Just really has turned that program around, and that's happy to see father, son doing great things with John and Mike.
We will see his dad, Mike, a great deal on the ISC Sports Network. Week 2, Week 3, Week 4, Week 5. You get the idea. We'll see John once this year. Hamilton Heights is actually going to play at Danville in week number 4. Danville's kind of entering a period of uncertainty as to what their football schedule is going to look like. This is kind of the last year of the current configuration of the Sagamore Athletic Conference, and Danville not sure exactly what that schedule is going to look like. What they did do this year is put together a 6-game home schedule. You'll see all those games on the ISC Sports Network.
Well, we saw Jamie Comer today in their outing, and Jamie has done some fantastic things at Danville.
We shot 10 under par.
That was nice.
In the Danville golf outing.
I didn't want to talk about that.
Courtesy of your dad, by the way.
It was a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
And this kickoff will reach the end zone for a touchback. So ball at the 20-yard line here for the North, and I think the North has to realize they need to start putting more points on the board. It's really kind of been one big play for the North so far offensively.
Got to find a way. I liked what they did last series. A lot of misdirection, quick hitters, and I think anything that you can do to where you can read somebody and not block them. I think that's what I would really focus on. And I'm sure Kurt Tippmann and his staff will as they move forward.
So Rader back in for this series, his second. Fake the handoff, Rader on the keep and nowhere to go. Levi Oxley from Wrights High School. He's going to head to play at Indiana Wesleyan. And what a job they have done at IWU. And you knew they would. As soon as they said, we're going to play football, you kind of figured give them a year or two, they'd be really good. That's exactly how it's played out.
And Levi will do great things there. 17 sacks on the year. Unbelievably beautiful campus there at Indiana Wesleyan. I feel like I helped build some of those buildings as I got my master's from there as well.
But I tell you what, it's going to be hard to top his experience playing at the Wrights Bowl.
One of the best, most iconic.
I think it's the best.
No, it's one of the most iconic places. I cannot agree or disagree with you. It's amazing.
I love that read. The catch is made by DJ Young of Lafayette Jeff. Rader delivers a strike when he needed to. First down North to the 33-yard line.
Great job by Rader. There's a reason why he led the state in passing. Again, 40 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, almost 3,500 yards throwing. So he had a great year for Nate Andrews and Northwood.
Of course, Josiah Edmond, Nitro Tuggle.
Doesn't
pretty
hurt.
Good targets to throw to. But Owen's pretty good in his own right. On the handoff, ball almost popped loose. And again, there is penetration at backfield on virtually every play. Aiden Beatles back there. Braden Hahn of Danville, speaking of the Danville Warriors, got back there too. A couple of young men that we see a lot in our Endeavor contest on ISC. We're back to make the play as Uriah Buchanan loses one, but thankfully for him, didn't lose the ball.
Yeah, Hahn, what a great job of getting penetration, going to play at Franklin College next year.
James Lewis IV also back on the tackle. No gain on that play. And a timeout is going to be taken by the South. They're trying to save time in terms of getting the football back. So a timeout taken by the South. We'll keep it right here. Tonight's game presented in part by M&M Body Shop. Family owned since 1983 on Main Street in Brownsburg. M&M Body Shop offers full-service collision repair with a lifetime guarantee on their craftsmanship. All you need them, 317-852-6347. And M&M wants to congratulate Caden Nollinger of Brownsburg, representing the Bulldogs in tonight's game.
Got a 3rd and 11. Look for some kind of bootleg or movement of the pocket here. The ball needs to get out quickly. The front has done a nice job on the south side of making and denting that offensive line for the North. And so look for Kurt Tippmann to try to do some kind of get the ball out quick or some kind of movement of the pocket.
Stay tuned. Coming up at halftime, we'll have our Wabash College halftime trivia. What would an ISC football broadcast be without Wabash College halftime trivia? And we'll welcome a new sponsor, Molsha Arena More. providing our halftime restorations during each and every broadcast this high school football season.
Great to see and watch Jake Gilbert coach in his last game. And, you know, Jake is a phenomenal defensive coach besides being a great head coach. And, you know, again, he is in his element, excited for he and his son Jackson. He'll be able to coach Jackson the next 4 years. And like I said earlier, for Wabash, if you're a Wabash grad and alumnus, you are thrilled with the hiring of Jake Gilbert.
3rd down and 11. Rolling pocket for Raider. Now we'll tuck it and run, and this little jump pass get rid of the football more than anything else. So the South will get the football back, about 2 minutes left to play in the half. They'll do so with 2 timeouts in their pocket.
Like moving the pocket, wasn't crazy about going to the short side. Wasn't a lot of room there. And the incomplete pass now stops the clock, so Jake Gilbert doesn't have to use another timeout. He's got 2 left with a little over 2 minutes to play. This can be a big stance here for the North defense coming up.
So back to kick this ball for the North. Their punter tonight again is Carson Kitchell from West Lafayette, going to walk on at Purdue. You may know his father from the Purdue Radio Network and played in some of the great teams for Joe Tiller. Contreras at the 35, breaks through 1 tackle. And Alvin still going at the 47-yard line. Again, Alvin, a unique combination, punter and safety in his days playing at Ben Davis High School.
Going to UIndy, played for Russ Mann. Excited for the job that Russ has done, took over for Jason Simmons, but another great get for the Hounds here at the next level. But I tell you what, to come in year 1, win a state championship at Ben Davis, that's pretty special.
I thought the ultimate compliment that could have been paid to that Ben Davis team is from our buddy Kevin Vanderbush, who retired after 40 years, the godfather of strength coaches in the state of Indiana. And he said, this is one of the most focused groups of young men I've ever been around.
They were fantastic. They were connected in so many ways, and a big reason why, because they got tested, whether it was Brownsburg or if it was Cathedral or Center Grove. They had to be connected in a great group to get by those 3.
Grayson Thomas picks up 9 yards in that carry. I was lucky enough to be around in kind of Ron Colley's heyday 20 years ago. Jason Warner, Tim Sorgi, some of the other, Tim Sergi, great players on that team. But there was a postseason run where just game after game was just remarkably close and fun games. Being around that Ben Davis team this year was very similar. It's just found a way to win. Their games against Brownsburg, Cathedral, and Center Grove were absolute epics.
They were fantastic, and to be able to get your kids up for those games, I give Russ Mann a lot of credit, his staff a lot of credit, just because, again, week in and week out, they're playing the very best.
Catch is made, breaking a tackle. We talked about Colin Guy a lot on the opening drive, not so much since, but Colin able to make that grab. Another 1st down.
Colin Guy, a 2-way starter for Chittard, did a great job for Rob Doyle. A big reason why they were able to win multiple state championships. But Colin Guy is a special and great player going to Marion.
On the handoff, it's going to be a gain of 2. No timeout being signaled yet by the South. They've still got a minute to go. 2 timeouts in their pocket.
I like the pace at which the South is playing. They're not in a hurry. They have a couple timeouts left. They want to make sure they end this drive with a kick.
Blitz coming. Out in the flat. Overthrown. That was Landon Ross from Covenant Christian. They go play at Carthage up in Wisconsin. Division III school, the Collegiate Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. 3rd down and 8 coming up.
Jackson was kind of on his back foot there, didn't transfer his weight. Left shoulder was a little high, which why the ball flew. Great read by Jackson. Really excited for Jake. Anytime as a coach, you can coach your own kids, that's pretty special. And it's difficult to do that, especially if you play quarterback like Jackson did, but the Gilberts pull it off.
Screen. Sherrill makes 1-man miss, makes a 2nd-man miss, but runs out of real estate. So now an interesting call. You're in field goal range and make it a 3-score lead. And as I say that, here comes the special teams unit on. So Trevor Henkel will have his chance to get a field goal. He's already made 3 extra points. Again, Trevor going to play collegiately at the University of Dayton. And this will be able to be a 33-yard field goal try.
Trevor on the year, 8 of 13, long of 37 this year, so he's inside his range.
Has plenty of leg, looks good, and it is. So 4 drives, 4 scores. This is the first time it doesn't end in 7. South again putting up some serious numbers in half number 1, a 24-7 advantage.
It's been a while since we've seen a 24-point half by any team in this game here, and so just excited to see this offense and see it playing well. Happy to see Ted Karras on the sideline there, watching this All-Star game. Head coach of Marion University. A lot of these players are going to come play for him next year.
I want to thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Vince Morales, Brian Pierce, David Kahn, Jacob Kripe, Eldon Wheeler, Eric Kinnett. One of 3 events we're producing on ISC tonight, including a doubleheader down at Victory Field of Indianapolis Indians baseball and the Indiana Robotics Invitational taking place at Lawrence Central High School.
You and I were watching that before the game. Interesting. It's an international event now, which I think is amazing where these kids are coming from. And you talked about it before the game, about the scholarships that they're getting now, which I think is great for them and their families.
You and I, our vehicle for involvement in the community and at the high school level is through sports. You and I both realize it's not the only way that your student can be involved. We are all for opportunities for young men and women to showcase their skills, whatever avenue that might be through their high school program.
It just makes your high school career and your time there, just more enjoyable because you're involved, you're doing things that are helping you for the next level. You're earning scholarships, you're earning free money for people that will pay you to learn a skill, and that's a great thing moving forward.
Now I want to see you show up at a robotics event and drop the terminology used during a football broadcast when you say, that's a free money player. I want to see you do that at the robotics event coming up tomorrow at Lawrence. That's a free money kid right there. So ball at the 20-yard line here, and again, the North does have just 1 timeout remaining, and maybe you try 1 pass down the field, maybe say, you know what, let's just get to the house and try to recalibrate a little bit here.
I would say get to the house quickly. If you're going to throw it out wide, try to get your best players in space, but really with only 32 seconds left, probably run it or just like a quick screen.
So McCullough, who has had some decent success running the football, not to mention the 80-yard touchdown toss. Stacked eye in the backfield. Good job to bounce that one outside. How about that play from the back to at least slow the play down? And that is Brian Wall flying in from Providence, and that's uncommon size for a safety, Division III. Wall 6'3" and 195.
And look how instinctive he is. Great angle, great job. Was not able to bring him down, but slow him down and going to Hanover again, playing for Coach Theobald. They got himself a good one there in Bryan.
It's hard for me to resonate having grown up by Providence and playing them in every sport, thinking them as a 1A football school, but they are.
It's amazing, but Jeff Perica has done a great job there. Happy for he and his family.
Following the legacy of Gene Sartini at Providence High School. McCullough, woo! Speaking of Wall, popping the pads. McCullough picks up 12. First down, clock stops with 19 seconds. Let's go before halftime.
McCullough showing his toughness there. Great job on the zone read or the power read, because you're going to see pullers here. It's my favorite running play in football right now. But great job by Wall and by McCullough.
Could be the final play of the half. Flag thrown. Catch is not made. 9/10 of a second left to go. It's going to be a holding call. And frankly, whether they take the hold or not is almost inconsequential at this point.
They'll move him back just because it'll give him less chance to do a Hail Mary. The North, and then he'll take a knee or do a quick running game, and we'll be off to halftime.
See if you can spot the hold here.
Yep. 99 got held. Jones. And again, that happens because your relentless effort as a defensive player. If you want to cause a hold, again, everyone is getting held. You've got to break away, change directions, make the officials see that tug of the jersey.
We'll have halftime stats for you coming up during the halftime break. Lance, sounds like about the upcoming schedule we'll have on the ISC Sports Network. Highlights of half number 1 and thoughts on half number 2 all coming up during the break. Fake the handoff, quick hitter, doesn't matter. That is the end of the half. Well, the North got it started with an 80-yard touchdown completion to T.J. Caldwell. It has been all South since that time. They have had the ball 4 times. They have scored 4 times. 3 touchdowns and a field goal from Trevor Henkel. And at the break, it is South 24, North 7. Our halftime show comes your way next as you're watching on ISC.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
The original Gridiron Gang provides on and off the field football training for all athletes, and that applies to any budget as well. The Gridiron Gang offers a scholarship program for underrepresented communities and families who work in the public sector, allowing athletes to train for free. Gridiron Gang is led by Robert Mathis, Daniel Muir, and other longtime NFL vets. Text Gridiron to 55433 for more info. Click on the Foundation tab to nominate a student athlete today.
The Highlanders, as part of the Marat Shrine IFCA North-South All-Star Class, performing here at halftime. What a performance from the South so far. Again, 4 drives, 4 scores, 3 touchdowns, and a field goal. 24-7 is our lead at the break. Alongside Lance Scheib, my name is Greg Reichstraw. Thank you so much for joining us for our annual kickoff to the high school football season. The season 6 weeks away from tonight. Lance, your thoughts on what you've seen so far?
Just been really impressed with the South offensively. I think they've done some really good job. I love the job the South has done up front. Anxious to see how Kurt Tippmann and what they do to adjust to that, because the North has been sporadic. They've had some good plays, some bad plays. They haven't been very consistent. Anxious to see if they can kind of straighten that out a little bit.
From a stat standpoint in the opening half, first of all, team stats. 14 first downs for the South, 6 for the North. 234 yards of offense for the South, 157 for the North, but 80 of that on one play, just 77 on their other 27 snaps. If you're doing yards per play, you're looking at 7.5 or so right now as far as the South is concerned. Penalties, 2 against the South, 4 against the North. Time of possession, 14-15 for the South, 9:44 for the North. The South is 5 of 6 on third down. North is 3 of 7 and 1 of 2 on fourth down. The South did not attempt a fourth down try. In terms of stats, Garrett Sherrill, 7 carries, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns. Grayson Thomas, 11 carries, 42 yards. Passing numbers for the South, the 2 quarterbacks combined, Alley and Gilbert, 11 of 13, 113 yards and a touchdown. Alley, 6 of 7 for 55. Gilbert, 5 of 6 for 58. Colin Guy has been the favorite target, 4 catches for 43 yards. Keith Long, 3 catches for 25 yards. For the North, the quarterback in Nolan McCullough, 6 for 45 rushing. Dontel Harris, 5 for 9. But passing has been different, though, for the North. McCullough, 3 of 9 for 95 yards and a touchdown. Rader, just 1 of 2 for 14 yards. TJ Caldwell, 2 catches from that touchdown. DJ Young, Demario Spence, both have a catch as well. Leading tacklers, Evans and Wall for the South with 3. Miller has 5. Strominski and Bishop Williams each have 4 tackles for the North. Lance, of those numbers, what jumps off the page to you?
The quarterback play. I think that's been the biggest thing, and I attribute that to the time that the South quarterbacks are having to be that efficient in a game like this that you've had very little practice all week long, and it's just that's probably the most impressive part to me is just their efficiency on how they've executed their offense.
We'll take a quick timeout. We'll come back with, well, Lance's favorite, everybody's favorite, Wabash College halftime trivia. It comes your way next on the ISC Sports Network.
For any plumbing problem, big or small, call Peterman Brothers. We'll fix it all. If your pipes or sink have sprung a leak, or your water heater's not keeping up this week, let our friendly techs take care of you and provide you with 5-star service, too. Next time you need a plumber, from clearing a clogged drain to new installation, call Peterman Brothers or visit petermanplumbing.com.
The IFCA Sports Network is your home for sports content across the Hoosier State. Find us live on TV and streaming or archived on our website and our app. The IFC is your one-stop shop for the content you want to see, including high school sports, college sports, and other great events throughout the year. Subscribe to our streaming service and get access to it all. IFC, local lives here. A meeting of the minds here in Indianapolis. Ted Karras on your screen from Marian University. Chris Keevers, just a couple of former Big Ten football players yapping it up. Of course, Chris will be entering his 31st year as an assistant coach or the head coach at the University of Indianapolis. Ted won a national championship at Marian, left, went to Walsh, was out of coaching, now is back in. And simply, you almost expect those two gentlemen's programs to get 10 wins a season every year.
Well, Chris Keevers, a former teammate of mine at Purdue, dear friend of mine, and has done a fantastic job. Ted Karras, I coached against him in the regional when he was at Andrean. He came to and started the Marian program, has done a phenomenal job, came back now, and now is back. And again, like I say, both these men, year in and year out, run two of the best programs in the country.
And that is Chris's son, Tucker, by the way, to his right, that played at New Pal, the placement UND. And of course, Ted's son, Ted, a starting center for the Cincinnati Bengals. And frankly, he has become a beloved member of the Cincinnati community. And what Teddy Jr., even though he's not really junior, what Teddy has done in terms of what he does for the village of Marcy with his Cincy Hat and Indy Hat project, God bless Ted Karras, because he's done the Lord's work for a lot of people that don't get talked about a great deal. What he has done with that Cincy Hat project is award worthy.
No, I'm not surprised. I just, Ted, the dad, understands the importance of giving back.
Yep.
And the family-centered that he has, and so really happy to see when those great things happened. Again, I'm not surprised, but I'm thankful that we have players like that in the NFL that understand and give back like Ted does.
Well, speaking of great college programs, how about our friends at Wabash College? Now, there are some times where I will go back to like another century for these Wabash College questions. Tonight, it is very much current events trivia. Lance, how many players are playing in tonight's game will attend Wabash College?
Do I get a chance to cheat and look?
No.
My guess is there are
one.
I'm going to guess there's 4.
Okay. The answer this year is 2.
Oh.
Now, the caliber of player they have this year is pretty special. Again, Jackson Gilbert, going to go play for his dad at Wabash, and Aiden Beatles is also going to be a Wabash man. He was the Indianapolis Colts Man of the Year, and again, a National Football Foundation Scholar Athlete Award winner. Was also a national level NFF award winner, was announced a couple of weeks ago. So congratulations to Aiden Beatles and Jackson Gilbert. But the answer, 2. Find out more when you log on to wabash.edu.
Just a great university, a great place. We're excited about, again, doing that Bell game. Folks, I'm telling you, I played in the bucket game, Bend, Ohio State, Michigan. If you've not been to that DePaul Wabash game, go to it. It is spectacular. It is great. It is football at its finest. It's one of the best environments you'll ever be at.
From the home of the Hawks, Decatur Central High School, southwest side of Indianapolis. It's all south in this one so far. They're 24-7. Stay tuned. Halftime highlights when we come back to the Beer Fair Stadium as you're watching the North-South All-Star Classic here on ISC.
First Federal can help remodel your home, consolidate your debt, or supply some spending cash with our home equity line of credit. Our standard home equity line of credit allows you to draw funds for up to 10 years and has no closing costs for qualified customers. Take advantage of this great opportunity by applying at firstfederalbanking.com.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best.
Jackson takes the handoff, throws the deep ball. He's got a man. Catch made. Rolling, throwing, has a man. First down, the grab by Cyrus. Billingsley keeps. Billingsley spins away from the tackle. Still going. Touchdown, Snyder. Time for a look at our halftime highlights as we look around DeVere Fair Stadium here at Decatur Central. Greg Rakestraw, Lance Scheib with you on the ISC Sports Network. And again, these all-star games, not common do you see 31 points scored in the first half, and a sign of things to come. Lance, this was the third play from scrimmage.
Great play by up front by the North. McCullough hitting Caldwell in stride, 80 yards. Great way to start. Then Sherrill just took over.
Garrett Sherrill, again, he has 7 carries, 60 yards, 2 touchdowns so far. The game record for individual touchdowns is 3, and that last happened in 1972. So it could be a night of historic proportions for a very talented player in Sherrill. Again, while it's not been a great night for the North, it's been a very good night for Nolan McCullough.
He really has played well. He showed great presence. He's done a nice job. The South up front started to take over a little bit, and then Jackson Gilbert throws just a strike to Schaffner, who, again, all-time leading rusher for Noblesville, and walks into the end zone.
So McCullough with the carry here again. They have largely, when they have had success, it's because he has been in the game, and that's no knock on Owen Rader. It's just McCullough's mobility has been key. And again, we didn't see much of Sherrill in the second quarter, but what does he do? He has a touchdown run on one carry, picks up yardage to secure a field goal on the other, and maybe that's the hit of the night so far that we saw delivered by Brian Wall towards the end of half number 1. Again, 4 scores on 4 drives so far for the South. So that's what happened in half number 1. Now I'm talking about what's going to happen in half number 2. And this is our halftime restorations brought to us by Mon Chéri Amour. Again, providing mobile restoration services. She, Sherry Rivers, comes to you with foot, hand, and arm therapy to improve movement and flexibility, detox therapy, rejuvenation, and so much more. Call Sherry Rivers, licensed esthetician today at 317-550-8455. So if you're in the South, it's quite simple. Second verse, same as the first. If you're the Northlands, what are you working on? What are you talking about at halftime?
Look at the plays that were positive for you. They were misdirection. They were quick hitters. They were ball on the perimeter quick. You moved the pocket a little bit. You ran your quarterback. Those are all things that I would hang my hat on here in the second half. And you got to find a way, look for some more movement up front on the North defense to try to counter the size of the South. But, again, just keep fighting. Keep playing. This is, your last half of high school football before the start of our season here in the fall in 6 weeks. And so, in strong and know that you're representing yourself and your parents and your school and the community in this game.
While we have the opportunity, let's talk about our television schedule on My Indy TV here in the Indianapolis area. We already touched on what our Week 1 games are, but let's get back to that television game. Lawrence Central and Lawrence North, that has been Week 3 the last several years. That used to be Week 1 for a long time when they were not in the same league. They have elected to move it back to week number 1. We get to see the Lawrence Township Super Bowl as our first game out of the gate.
I was laughing. This week we have both Terry Walker and Tanner Aspelett, both starting quarterbacks in that game, and I'm laughing as I'm talking to the guys. I said, we're 6 weeks away from seeing you guys on Friday night, and I asked both of them, I said, who's going to win? Both of them said, we've had great summers, and they feel like the game is very even. They think both teams are very, very evenly matched and very talented, and I can speak for the athletes that we've seen on both sides. It should be a great way to start our season.
Week number 2, a unique matchup. Warsaw and Bart Curtis coming down to play Warren Central. Again, we partner with both the Mick and Carmel, and all of those teams on the road with one exception. Warren Central there playing host to Warsaw. And again, Coach Curtis loves to run the football, and then run the football, and then run the football some more. That is a tough team to prep for in the course of 1 week.
In the triple option, what Bart has done, everywhere Bart's gone, he's won because of that offense, and he just does a great job soundly. But Mike Kirshner's not his first time he's seen the option, but it will be the first time his kids have seen an offense like that. Should be an interesting matchup.
In week number 3, we will see Warren Central. But this time they will go to North Central. Again, it is a rebuilding program under head coach Derek Hart now in year number 2. They will start to make progressions, I think, this year, and they will do so, Lance, in a brand-new stadium.
Excited for just all the things that are going on at North Central. Excited for the new indoor facility that they named after Paul Logan, our dear friend. And it should be a fun night of football. North Central and Derek, year 2, they're going to get better.
Yep.
The problem is that their conference is so good. Everyone else is still talented, but it should be a good game.
Week number 4, we'll see teams we have already seen on the season, Warren Central and Lawrence Central. Of course, those are sectional foes as well. At least they have been in years gone by. Week number 5, it's our first chance to see the Carmel Greyhounds and a relative new opponent for them. Brebeuf going to play them in week number 5.
Matt Geske has got a good group. They defensively, I saw them this winter at our Colts 7-on-7. Offensively, he's got his son Maverick, who is really, really talented. Don't feel like that's not going to be a great game, because what John Heber does at Carmel, I love John, but I'm anxious to see that matchup.
And Carmel was 5-5 last year. They frankly were a couple of plays away from being 3-7 or 2-8. But there is a general thought that Carmel's going to be a whole lot better this year.
Well, John is just that hard-nosed, tough, great coach. They win with defense. They have a great quarterback in Anthony Colner, and they've got some good skill guys back. Look for Carmel to bounce back.
Week number 6 will be our first chance to showcase Ben Davis. We'll see them a lot the back half of the season as far as our television games are concerned. They and Lawrence North, that game could easily be for the conference championship.
Well, it'll be interesting because Pat Mallory has got Lawrence North back. They're very talented. Skill-wise, they might be the most talented skill group in the state of Indiana. But what Russ Mann has done at Ben Davis, this next group is hungry. They're excited, and it should be a fantastic game.
Week number 7, we'll see traditional rivals meet. If they're not in the same league anymore, they still are teams that point to a state championship every year. In fact, the defending champs in Ben Davis will visit Carmel Stadium.
That game is always electric. It's always not for the faint of heart. It won't be this year. It should be a fantastic environment and a great game.
Week number 8, Lawrence Central and Ben Davis. That game at BD. The last time we did that game, Lance, Lawrence Central led 29-0. And Ben Davis won it 35-29.
And you looked at me when I said look out, because in that game, Lawrence Central relaxed. And here comes Ben Davis. And when you lose that momentum, it's hard to get it back. So I know the Giants were looking forward to another crack at the Bears.
And then finally in week number 9, Lawrence Central at Carmel. And LC beat Carmel last year for the first time in a long time.
Well, this will be an interesting game because I think LC, Terry Walker, is as good a quarterback as there is, not in Indiana, but in the Midwest. He is a fantastic, if you've not seen Terry play, folks, he is a Power 5, oh my God, quarterback, and he'll do great things for Will Patterson's team this year.
And by the way, congratulations, on the birth of your son that happened yesterday.
Yep.
Congratulations, Coach Patterson. But on the flip side, what I wanted to bring up is that Walker at LC and Isaiah Rogers at Ben Davis are both in very unique positions where they're kids that are Division I level players, but they had to kind of wait their turn. Walker was probably a better overall quarterback than Bryson Luter, but Bryce was such a special kid who's going to play at West Point and such a great leader, was a top 30 student academically at Lawrence Central. They wanted Bryson there for that leadership position. So Terry kind of had to wait his time. You know, obviously Thomas Gotkowski, now at Man of Ohio from Ben Davis, Isaiah Rogers, he was getting like ACC offers last year. And both those kids waited and didn't transfer. And now they get their opportunity coming up this fall.
There's nothing that bothers me more than parents moving kids to try to play. If you're good enough, wherever you are, you will play. As coaches, we want to win. Both of those players will not only be successful at their high schools because they didn't leave, but at the next level because they stayed, they endured, they worked their butt off, and they will reap the benefits from it. And anybody out there that wants to leave, watch those two kids. Watch kids that stay. They win. It's better for your kid academically and for their friends and all the things that go on in school, the school experience, and it normally works out football-wise as well.
That is our television schedule, weeks 1 through 9. Of note, we'll have Cathedral at Ben Davis, Cathedral at Warren Central, Center Grove at Ben Davis, Center Grove at Lawrence North, Homestead at Carmel, Louisville Trinity at Carmel, and oh, by the way, the entire home schedule for the Danville Warriors. We've got games, a minimum of 4, every Friday night. IFCSportsNetwork.com. All games also go to IHSAATV.org. We've got your game for you coming up this fall, and it all starts 6 weeks from tonight. We'll take this quick timeout. Third quarter action comes your way next. It is the IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. Back for third quarter action after this on ISC.
When Dad started Peterman in 1986, he did so with a commitment to creating a new kind of heating and cooling company.
One where we take care of our people so our people can take care of you.
This philosophy has enabled Peterman Brothers to grow into the #1 Indiana-owned heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical provider.
So the next time you have a heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical need,
call your local leader and let the Peterman Brothers family take care of yours.
As the South is huddling, let's recognize one of our other players in tonight's game. Congratulations, Liam Lancaster of Peru. And First Federal Savings Bank wants to recognize your efforts for playing in this game, the former Peru Tiger. At First Federal, they're currently offering a 6-month certificate deposit for 5.1 APY and a 12-month certificate at 4.84 APY, and only a $500 minimum deposit is required. First Federal Bank is FDIC insured and an equal housing lender. Lance, what do you expect to see here to start quarter number 3?
I look for both teams to come out with a little fire in their belly. I think Coach Tittman and Coach Gilbert both realize that this is an important second half here for both of the programs, and I'm anxious to see these kids have a lot of pride. They've worked awfully hard and earned the right to represent themselves, their family, and their school in this game, so I look for a good second half.
Officials put additional time, as they often do at halftime of a game. I tell people when we broadcast high school football, we have a first half of play-by-play, we have a 25-minute talk show in between, and we have a second half of play-by-play. Of course, while it's certainly warmer than these guys are used to playing football, it is also a situation where you do have kind of the 2-platoon system, so guys really kind of played a quarter for the most part at half number 1.
Coaches do a great job of managing the play count for everybody. We talked about earlier, every player has earned the right to be here. And in a game like this, when it's in the high 80s and a lot of humidity, you want to get guys on and off the field just from the standpoint of just keeping them hydrated and healthy, and they've done a great job in this first half of doing that.
And frankly, it looks like it is raining about 3 or 4 miles in the right direction for us, to the east of us, over towards Perry Township, as you and I kind of look out towards the east, and you see the rainbow. So we hope that does not head our direction, because we have been hit by plenty of rain on Tuesday and Thursday this week, so much so of having to postpone some Indianapolis Indians broadcast, in which we are a part of. For these young men, what is the transition going to be like? Because, again, for the most part, they're 2 or 3 weeks away from getting onto a college campus. What that is that acclimation period going to be like?
Your freshman year of college is hard enough, let alone those that are playing football or playing a sport. I think it helps you because you have an instant friend group and kids that you can hang out with, but it is something that will be difficult. Again, I equate it, go back to your freshman year of high school. Trying to play against seniors in high school, it doesn't go well. For most of these kids, it will be a rough year. It'll be a year that if they'll go back for their sophomore year, it normally works out well for them.
So third quarter action about to get started. Lance, how you doing nutrition-wise? Going to get you anything, pizza, pretzel, anything like that?
Life is good. We had a great job, our great fun today playing golf, and looking forward to a great second half.
So momentarily, we'll get to action. Let's thank our friends Andy Albert, Dave Jarvis, the rest of the great folks at the Indy Card Exchange. Now, for more than 30 years, the Indy Card Exchange has been your trusted source for buying and selling sports cards of all kinds. And they are changing the game in terms of how you can get your cards graded completely online. Go to IndyCardExchange.com for more info and see how you can make money on your collection. There is one of our favorite people, AD and head coach at Warren Central, Mike Kirshner.
You want to know how to run a program? If you're a young coach, go talk to that man right there. He's done a great job at multiple schools. He's back his alma mater. He was a couple years older than me. Excited for Mike and the job that he's done. Great. He's back on the east side, the pride of the east side, Warren Central. and very proud to call him a friend.
We'll see him a lot. We have the Warriors a great deal. Again, you heard me reference television games, some streaming games. If memory serves, I think ISC is producing 6 of 9 Warren Central football games this year.
Well, I know this. They've got a great nucleus back. They've got one of the best front on defense and offense in the state. They've got a newcomer at quarterback, and I'm anxious just to see how things go for my Warriors.
Coach Gavin Breifogel from Lafayette Central Catholic. Working on the North Course. Bryn Robbins, by the way, is playing in this game for Central Catholic. He's going to go down and play at Kaiser in Florida. Going to play football as of now, but Bryn was a 4-year starter for Tim Bourdonnais at CC. I would think there might be some baseball in his future if he chooses to go that direction.
Well, he's very talented. He's going to a phenomenal university in Florida, and I have a feeling, like you said, he may end up venturing playing 2 sports there.
So on to kick this ball away for the North. Mentioned him a couple of times. Austin DeLeon from Norwell. He'll play for the ageless Kevin Donnelly at the University of St. Francis. The only head coach in the history of the St. Francis program, of course, a national championship winning coach in his days at St. Francis as well.
Kevin is the best. I really have a lot of respect for the job that he's done there, and really has made St. Francis year in year out a nationwide power.
So DeLeon lining this one up with the left foot. And third quarter action is underway, and this one will again drift just into the end zone. Again, automatic touchback. We're still playing high school rules, 12-minute quarters in this game.
Anxious to see the tempo and how the South attacks the North here. I'll be anxious to see if they want to lean on them a little bit and run the ball. If they want to come out throwing it, I'll be anxious. Everything was clicking midway through that first quarter on for the entire half for the South.
So it'll be Jaron Alley gets the nod here. He was 6 of 7, 55 yards, and his 2 drives again. It's been 4 drives, 4 scores. Most players have gotten 2 drives so far in tonight's game. Little tap pass that just a solid 4-yard pickup. That time Caden Ollinger from Brownsburg, the benefactor of that.
Caden, as I talked earlier, can flat scoot going to UND. Great landing spot for him. I like the play call. You're on the perimeter. If he drops it, it's an incomplete pass. Good way to start the second half.
So second down and 6. That is a very low-risk, high-reward play, is it not?
It is. Again, you're on the perimeter. You're doing things. You're making these guys go left and right.
Great catch. First down and more. That was nearly intercepted, but Colin Guy gets his game-high 5th reception of the night. And he'll take it out to the 42-yard line for pickup of 18 yards.
Go have you a game here, Colin. You are doing a great job. Super job of moving the pocket. Great rhythm on the throw. Good job of running through the tackle. Super job by Colin.
And we'll see Colin a lot this year. Of course, Marion, they're home for multiple sports, the ISC Sports Network. Handoff goes to Maxwell, and Maxwell gets a yard.
Good job up front that time by Isaac Beam from Warsaw, going to Purdue Fort Wayne.
They get a 1-yard stop, and Nate Andrews flies in his front 4 and is fired up like their lead 24/7. Again, he is all go, no quit. Love being around Coach Andrews.
Nate is just a special coach in our state and has done a great job following in the footsteps of his father.
Alley just buying time out of real estate. Meeting him at the point of attack is Nick Johnson. We've called his name a couple of different times. Even his family's sitting about 4 or 5 rows below us here, all smiles about that play. Sack, a loss of 1, 3rd down and 10.
Nice job by Nick Johnson. I just liked his angle he took. Was able to figure out where Alley was going to turn up, and Johnson was there to make the tackle.
5 third down conversions for the South already. Won't be that time. Good job to make that catch in front of Trey Thomas. That's Keith Long, his 4th catch.
From Mishawaka, going to Illinois State is Trey Thomas, playing for one of my former coaches, Brock Spack. And Brock has done a great job at Illinois State and has a good one in Trey.
There is talk of them potentially about making the jump to the Mid-American Conference over in Bloomington Normal.
Really?
Not official, but it's being talked about. Well, The punt team is on for the first time. And Aaron Redmond from Eastern Hancock gets to make his debut in this game at 4th and 3. And gets that ball away very nicely. Fair catch called for inside of the 9-yard line. Tonight's game presented in part by Endeavor Communications. We referenced Aiden Beatles of South Putnam earlier in this contest. Well, Endeavor Communications is a great partner of South Putnam High School. I want to say congratulations, Aiden, for a wonderful student-athlete career at South Putnam. Endeavor doesn't provide just ordinary internet service. Their blazing fast, high-speed fiber service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play and connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com or call 800-922-6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. And look at this form by Aaron Redmond.
Almost got it blocked. Great job by Redmond. Super play. Got the ball to turnover. Great kick by the young man who is going. Is not sure where he's going to play for Pat Echeverria last year at Eastern Hancock.
By the way, Sam Lockhart was the up back with the block. And Sam also tells me that I was wrong on Wabash College halftime trivia. He is one of 3 players that will play at Wabash next year.
Gotcha.
What's preseason?
So I was closer. I said 4, so I was closer.
Let's just say we'll treat this like an exhibition game. We'll start the counter on August 23rd. How about that?
I love it.
I did not mean to shortchange the Floyd Central Highlander and Sam Lockhart, who's also going to be a Wabash man. My apologies, Sam. So 1st and 15 after the penalty. Owen Rader will get the nod here to start the half for the North. Avoids pressure in the pocket, but again, there's not much that Owen can do. He ends up picking up a yard on the play, but it is not exactly a fair fight right now. The South defensive line versus the North offensive line.
It's not, and it's one of those things that's where you got to look to more angles, look at more pulling, trapping, reading, and trying to get them to get upfield.
And Raiders' high school stats were tremendous.
Just a little bit, yes. He was good.
Northwood, the runners-up in 4A this year. Again, the handoff and the jet sweep, trying to find some room to run, and
get outside.
No room at the end. Javian Jones already a sack for the Decatur Central Hawk. Hunter Bennett from Mooresville. Usually the Decatur Central and Mooresville folks don't combine on things very well. They did on that play. The rivals forever, the next door neighbors here on State Road 67.
Get outside, run to the butts. If you're trying to figure this out at home, when you're running the football, go to where the butt is of the blocker. That's the angle he's got him trapped at.
It's Gabe McGuire from Alexandria. Raider throws the deep ball and overthrows his intended target. That was Adrian Colligbo from Whiteland that was on the coverage. And the target was TJ Caldwell. And after the first punt of the game for the South, they have now forced a tough field position punt here. We referenced Carson Kitchell's dad. I saw him. He's part of the West Lafayette staff, and they're all here watching tonight's game.
Well, I think the world of both he and his twin, the Kitchells, both are at Purdue, and we'll do some great things there as well. And I know Dad's awful proud.
Has to pick that one up from his shoelaces. End over end kick. Fielded by Schaffner at the 43-yard line. Back to the 30 and inside another 27-yard line, a 16-yard punt return. This portion of this game is brought to us by 9-Star Connect, a local smart utility who has the fastest internet in the state. In fact, 9-Star can offer speeds up to 10 gig. Try getting that from any other provider. 9-Star wants to congratulate Grayson Thomas of New Pal for representing Hancock County in tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. 9-Star Connect, who knew?
Not exactly what the North wanted here, of giving the South a short field, so anxious to see if they're able to keep him out of the end zone. Speaking
of Grayson Thomas, there he goes. Inside of the 20 and upended at the 18-yard line, a gain of 9.
Dayton's got themselves a special player there in Grayson Thomas. I think he'll do some really neat things for the Flyers, and I think, I think that'll be a great fit.
Dayton, again, has not been able to replicate kind of their Division III success at that level, but they're good more years than not at UD. They can hand off to Thomas. Thomas tripped up. I think he's going to get the first down. It's going to be 3rd and inches or first down by an inch or two. And it will be the former 3rd and short after a gain of 1.
Big down here for the North here. They got to slant, move, do something to get some penetration in that backfield.
Hand off to Thomas, and Thomas didn't get it. I think he may have made kind of the wrong read, but let's credit the guys to the North. Sammy Ampilotis of Valparaiso amongst those to make. We talked about Valparaiso University. He's a Valparaiso Viking that's going to go play at St. Francis.
Another great get by Coach Donnelly. Again, there's a reason why Marion does well. UND, St. Francis. You're looking at these schools that traditionally are powers in their divisions because we've got a great state of football players here to draw from.
4th down and 1. On the handoff, it's Sherrill, and Sherrill has the first down. And you'll note when they've needed a first down, the rotation has ended. Hey, Garrett, go get in the game. First down for the South.
Yeah, coaches have their discretion on to play who they want. I think Sherrill has earned the right to be in there when it really counts, and he's done a great job of delivering.
First down, not goal. 1st and 10 at the 11-yard line. Gilbert looking for the end zone. And did he hang on?
Yep.
He did. Touchdown. Touchdown pass for Gilbert. Caden Ollinger with the grab.
Great job by Caden Ollinger. What I love what he did, folks, here is he stayed on top of the defender here. He gives Jackson Gilbert a place to throw the football. See how he's able to fade to it. Great throw, great catch there by the Westfield quarterback and Jackson Gilbert and Caden Ollinger from Brownsburg.
They get 5 for 6 on scoring drives for the South in this game, and they have scored 30 unanswered points.
They have looked impressive.
Extra point try is up and good. Let's take a 30-second timeout. We'll come back to Decatur Central in a moment. All South in this and lead 31-7 as you're watching the IFCA North-South All-Star Classic on ISC.
First Federal can help remodel your home, consolidate your debt, or supply some spending cash with our home equity line of credit. Our standard home equity line of credit allows you to draw funds for up to 10 years and has no closing costs for qualified customers. Take advantage of this great opportunity by applying at firstfederalbanking.com.
And remember, we don't want to be the biggest bank, just the best.
Well, we want to thank tremendous sponsors on this broadcast. We saw our friends at First Federal Savings Bank. How about our friends at M&M Body Shop? Family owned since 1983 on Main Street in Brownsburg. M&M Body Shop offers full-service collision repair with a lifetime guarantee on their craftsmanship. How about the job the Brownsburg Bulldogs have done in this game? That's who M&M is supporting, Caden Ollinger and Garrett Sherrill. Congratulations, guys. And when you need M&M Body Shop, you call them, 317-852-6347. And tell Drew Connor we sent you on the ISC Sports Network.
That's a great job by the South. I was excited to watch one of the managers who is signaling in plays for the South, Jordan Clark. Her dad and I are good friends, Matt, and her grandpa, a longtime legendary AD, John Clark, at Ben Davis.
Best of the best right there.
Yep.
Touchback. South is doing everything well as Redmond pulverized that one.
Excited for Jordan Clark. She won the Joe Goodman Award last night at the North-South Banquet, and I know that Dad, Mom, and Grandpa are awful proud of her.
So ball at the 20-yard line. McCullough will come back in. You see the coaching staff from the South all smiles. Coaches Gilbert, Miners, and others. Evan Bernhardt, Nick Brickens, Desson Hannum, Russ Mann, Jeff Perica, Tony Salati, Waylon Schenk, and Steve Winkler. All part of that South coaching staff. McCullough. Flag throw. Catch made. Another flag thrown. This may be offsetting penalties. That was a nice grab for the young man that has the touchdown grab at TJ Caldwell, but there was a flag behind the play and then obviously a face mask on Evans at the end of it.
Boy, Andrew Evans, 6 foot 215, folks. He will grow into a body that will be very special for the Cardinals. Sorry
to cut you off there, partner. Drew missed some time this year with injury,
Yeah,
too.
he did.
So
he did. And I know, I tell you what, he's done some work for us. Just a great young man, great poise. I think he needs to go into coaching. He really has a gift. He and his brother Chris do a fantastic job. And you alluded to earlier, mom and dad are special, and there's a reason why the kids are so great.
So offsetting penalties again, face mask, and there was a hold behind the play. So we'll do it again at 1st and 10. Cullen, 3 completions for 95 yards in the first half, 45 yards rushing. He will keep here. They'll get a gain of 2. Ridden down by Elijah Schenkel, a player we have talked about a lot tonight for the South.
When you're running that power read, you got to do something to slow up that backside end. And Schenkel's not been held up at all, and he has come back and ran down 3 or 4 times from the backside. He is just, again, he's 6'4", 225, going to Finley, but he can flat scoot, folks.
2nd down and 8. Right tackle. Got a little edgy.
It happens. We really, other than the first drive, we haven't had a lot of penalties. Had a couple this drive, but it's been a pretty well-played game, I think.
I referenced the coaches for the South. How about those in the Kurt Chipman is the head coach, and Andrew is assistant. Mentioned Gavin Breifogel, Jim Carlson, Brian Edwards, Chase Estep, John Kirshner, my buddy Pete Koulianos, Todd Morgan, and Russ Radke, coaching staff.
Russ Radke, one of the all-time leaders in wins. Russ has been going for 40-plus years, and he just wins wherever he goes.
Long pass, a little bit too long for DeMario Spence. Almost has as many Minneapolis Moline tractors as he has wins. That is his hobby, is collecting Minneapolis Moline tractors.
Russ is pretty special and has done a great job in the northern part of our state of taking over programs and making them instant winners.
So 3rd down and long. Russ led New Prairie to the state finals not too long ago. Now at Knox, doing a great job there. Looking for the long ball, and
should be a hold. Should be a flag.
I thought there was some contact there,
turned.
but yeah.
And he got turned a little bit. Hey, it's July, not a problem.
So 4th and long. Here comes the punt team on.
It's like every good offensive lineman holds, every good DB holds. The art is getting away with it.
It's not holding if they don't call it, Lance.
Exactly. I agree.
It's just good
Nothing
physical
happened.
coverage.
It was nice job.
Now our viewers in the northern half of the state are saying that's complete bollocks. No, that's not true, but that's the South perspective on
yes.
that.
Let's see if we get this punt off here. Evans is coming out wide here if he can get there.
Wobbly kick. Schaffner Fields, 48-yard line, runs to a tackle. 40. Thomas lays the wood to him. Trey Thomas of Mishawaka. But still a return by Schaffner of 12. Our friends Coca-Cola of Kokomo want to congratulate Reese Spirit of Kokomo representing the Cats in tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. Coca-Cola of Kokomo proud to keep Reese's teammates and classmates hydrated both in the classroom and on the field. Find out more at ccukokomo.com. And Reese is a young man in a couple of different sports. Did a whole lot of winning in his days as a Wildcat.
Plays for a great man there in Colby. Coach Colby, I love his dad, Brett. Austin has done a fantastic job of coming back and carrying on the winning tradition at Kokomo.
Garrett Sherrill again looked like he was going to just try to bounce that inside, and he'll have a record-setting touchdown. His 3rd of the night. That should have been about a 4 or 5 yard pickup. Instead, it's 36 yards and to the house for a 37th point for the South.
I, again, talked to Chris Keever about this, and he just kind of lit up. He said, I really feel like I got a steal in Sherrill, and I just think he's something that we will give him the ball a lot this fall. Look for great things from him.
Well, I can name you so many top running backs that have gone through UIndy. You think of Al McKellar from Lawrence North.
Yep.
You think of Toriano Clinton, who spent time with the Colts last year in preseason. Go back to Clay Fichter of Norwell about 10 years before that. It has been tailback you at UIndy. And Sherrill, again, has the chance to be as good as any of those guys.
Well, Chris Keever, former defensive lineman and teammate of mine at Purdue, understands if you can run the football at any level, you've got a chance to win. And he's done that at UIndy and done it very well.
And he's got more rings than Liberace because of what he has done at UIndy. And that's a reference for the grandparents out there watching the broadcast tonight. On that note, we'll take this 30-second timeout back to the Beer Fair Stadium momentarily. The South have scored 38 in a row. They're dominating this one on ISC.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
The sun setting on this central Indiana evening, not yet on this game, but I think the decision largely has been recorded. South 38 and North 7. Alongside Lance Scheib, Greg Rakestraw with you here on the ISC Sports Network. So Henkel on to kick this ball away. You know, it has been rare that the performances have been lopsided, but obviously this one has been. And again, this is probably without, and again, some of the, you don't see the guys that are playing in the Big Ten, Mid-American Conference, ACC. Those kids are already on campus. This has become kind of the FCS Division II, Division III NAI All-Star game. But it is a loaded group the South has put together.
They have come in guns a-blazing, and they have performed incredibly well. For Jake Gilbert, he's got to be really happy.
Ball at the 20-yard line on this drive for the North. And right now, you're just simply trying to just establish some consistency offensively if you're the North All-Stars right now.
They've shown splashes of brilliance, and they've done some really great things. They just can't stack plays back to back to back in order to sustain a drive.
Owen Rader, again, going to play at DePaul University. What a job that Brett Dietz has done at DePaul. Lance, you know, we've mentioned the Monon Bell game a lot. And we do that on the ISC a lot because we're so proud to be a part of it. But that game was one of the 5 best games I've ever been a part of, broadcasting that game, that overtime win in Crawfordsville last year. Rader throws it, tipped, and almost caught by the second receiver through. That was first touched by Gabe McGuire. Deacon Diltz was the player that was closest to it on your screen now from Ole Miss. Second down.
You know, you talk a little bit about that Monon Bell game, and again, I love the atmosphere, love the feel. It's just unless you've been to it, it's just amazing.
And Owen will do good things at DePaul.
Yes,
he will be a contributing player at DePaul.
Yes.
At some point in time down the road.
Well, Coach Dietz, a former quarterback, he knows how to develop them. He has done amazing things at DePaul, a good friend, and just knows how to win games and develop kids.
On the handoff, they'll bounce it outside. A little more yardage working for Uriah Buchanan. We'll pick up 3, maybe 4. And we'll revisit something that we said early in the broadcast. You and I had the pleasure of doing Snyder and Warren Central to start the season in week number 1. And Snyder put up 42 on Warren Central, and you and I both go, I think we're going to see these guys again to end the year, and that's exactly what happens as Snyder beat Decatur Central in the 5H championship game.
Kurt Tidman, a job he's done over the years at Fort Wayne, following Russ Isaacson, who did a phenomenal job there, just carrying on a great tradition. But again, he is they will be good again this year.
And how about as Rader gets sacked, Coach Isaacs is still on the staff.
Well, I saw him here earlier.
Still on the staff.
No,
that doesn't happen.
No, it does in Fort Wayne, and he is just, you know, to have that kind of experience, have that kind of leadership, have that kind of person that's done so many great things, still there, still wanting to be a part of the program. It speaks to what the program is really about.
Let's make sure we credit Braden Hahn for the sack there. We talked to Coach Comer about Braden Hahn earlier today. Kitchell on to punt. Kitchell's kick hits, so that's a free ball to return, more or less. And Schaffner now gets the chance to advance it, which he does at the 42-yard line. Again, it's been on this half of the field the entirety of the third quarter. Well, tonight's game brought to us by SEI Communications, Southeastern Indiana's most diverse telecommunications provider, with offerings ranging from lightning fast fiber optic internet to data center solutions and fiber transport. Visit SEICommunications.com or call 888-200-8077 for availability today. And SEI wants to congratulate Ethan Pierce of Milan for representing Southeastern Indiana in tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star. Even another 1A player getting a chance to be in this All-Star game.
It's just a great job. The format of this game is special. These players have come in and produce year in and year out.
Ethan's in the game as a blocking tight end as we speak, and a handoff for a gain of 4. I get to spend a little time in Milan these days. I am lucky to be on the board of directors for the Milan 54 Museum. Folks, if you've ever been down there, I know this is a football broadcast. That's a basketball reference. Go enjoy it. It's amazing.
Well, there's so many great treasures here in our state, and that certainly is one of them. And if you have a chance to go by there, I think it would be time well spent.
Catch made, tackle made immediately. Upended was Caden Ollinger, and the man that dropped him after a moment was Jacob Strominski from Hanover Central. I remember Hanover Central's, I've been playing football that long. The rapid growth of that area is amazing.
Brian Parker has done not a good job, a great job at Hanover Central, and he has won a lot of games quickly and really has got things rolling there for that school.
Hand off to Maxwell and nowhere to go. Love the sportsmanship being shown after the tackle. That is Ashton Pasetsky from Carroll High School. He'll play for Ted Karras at Marion. And let me specify, Carroll of Fort Wayne, since there are two very good Carrolls these days in high school football.
Played for Doug Dinan at Carroll and Fort Wayne, and they were in state finals. State finals 2 years ago. They're loaded. Coming back this year, look for great things from Carroll and
Alley
Doug Dinan.
Going forward on fourth down. Schaffner, the wheel route, makes the grab and takes it down to the 10-yard line.
Great throw, phenomenal catch, good play call. Again, you got Schaffner on, in space. He's a tough matchup for anybody. He's come up with some great catches in tonight's game, showing his versatility, not just a running back, but is able to be an athlete and run and catch. They're very proud of him.
And Schaffner going to play at DePauw as well. And again, he'll be a difference maker there.
He is, folks. He is fantastic. Ran for over 4,100 yards for the Millers and Dave Sharp, 5,600 yards a total of all-purpose yards. But he is the all-time leading rusher for the Millers.
Taylor got them a find in Wade Jones. We have talked about Wade Jones a lot for this North defense.
For as big as he is, as well as he moves, again, when he fills into his body, folks, look out.
And that will be the final play of the third quarter. And they need to kind of rush to the line of scrimmage, as the South has been dominant. They have carried that to quarter number 4. Our lead at the break is South 38 and North 7. Fourth quarter action from Decatur Central comes your way next as you're watching on the ISC Sports Network.
The original Gridiron Gang develops skills both on and off the field in football players of any age, and that applies to any budget as well. The Gridiron Gang offers pillars of change to underrepresented communities, military families, and offers chances to volunteer to earn additional training hours at no additional cost. The Gridiron Gang is led by Robert Mathis, Daniel Muir, and other longtime NFL vets. Find out more at theoriginalgridirongang.com and click on the Scholarship tab to nominate a student athlete in need.
Again, it is raining somewhere in Perry Township. Maybe that could be a Winding River Golf Course over on Man Road at this point. But we hope the rain is going east and away from us. Our yards are nice and green at this point. Obviously, we've got the artificial turf here, we're in good shape. Greg Rakestraw, Landshine with you, our entire ISC Sports Network crew. Thanks for spending part of your Friday night with us. Again, overall outcome no longer in doubt. This is simply going to be about, can you make that superlative play as an individual? Can you get the chance to, say, score a touchdown, get an interception, make a big tackle in an all-star game? South trailed 7-0 after a minute, and they've scored the last 38 points since that time.
They certainly have answered. Excited for Jake Gilbert. Excited for these kids. They've really have played a very sound game against, I think, a very good North team.
Handoff goes to Thomas. Thomas just bouncing it outside, trying to wait for a play to happen. Nothing doing there for the North. Cole Shively of Triton and Bryn Robbins of Central Catholic. We've talked about both those a couple of times tonight. Make the play.
Going north and south, I think, is hard, or east and west on this defense. They run so well. But I like the quick hitters and ones going up the middle fast.
I thought you were talking about forcing to get here.
East
and west, north and south doesn't matter. It's hard to get anywhere these days.
I tell you what, we were stopped on the highway coming here from my parents' house, and I'm thinking to myself, it's 465, and I am dead stopped here, and I just love construction.
It's Indianapolis. You can't get to Indianapolis from Indianapolis these days. Throw in the end zone, knocked away. Again, how about Thomas? We've called his name a lot, too, the former Mishawaka Cavemen.
He has played really well. 6'3", 185. I love the length of these defenders. They really have got a chance to grow into their bodies to be special players.
Well, you're seeing that a lot more than you used to. Used to be the 6'3" kids played offense. The 5'10" kids played defense. That's not necessarily the case anymore, Coach.
Well, if you can flip your hips like these guys can and do the things they're doing, you got a chance to be a free money player and play at the next level.
So Henkel is on for his second field goal try. His last one from 33 yards. That one from 24, and makes them both and make it 41-7 in favor of the South. Well, First Federal Savings Bank wants to congratulate Isaiah Jones of Knox on competing in tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. If you're a first-time home buyer, you can trust First Federal every step of the way through the process. First Federal is FDIC insured and equal housing lender. And now you're ready for the unofficial trivia question on Isaiah Jones of Knox. Because I told you earlier, I said, listen, we're going to reference Isaiah later in the broadcast. You want to know why we reference him?
Why?
He's the only player sponsored twice. Sponsored by both the good folks at First Federal Savings Bank, that has a location not far from Knox. They've got 6 straight locations all across north central Indiana. And by Coca-Cola of Kokomo, because Knox is one of the 26 high schools serviced by Coca-Cola of Kokomo. So by sponsors, the most loved player in tonight's game, Isaiah Jones of Knox High School. Congratulations, Isaiah.
It's just great to see the communities and the businesses in these communities giving back to these kids and making this event special. And I think that's the thing that why you see all these people here. It's a community event. Football is something that's a family affair, and it's something that athletics has so many great things about bringing communities together. It's a great tribute to these kids in our state of Indiana to see this type of turnout for a North-South game.
So on the kick, this will be returned. Bobbled, but picked up at about the 5-yard line. And on the return, I think that's Jalen Pugh, I think. Nope, that's Reese Beard on the return. So the ball now at the 22-yard line. And again, for the North, they're just trying to ground out some positive yardage when given the opportunity. That tackle, by the way, made for the South by Wyatt Woodall from Southmont High School.
Second in the state in tackles, 192 tackles on the year, going to Marion.
Notice the theme. Marion, UIndy, St. Francis, Franklin, Wabash, you get Valparaiso, Butler. You get the idea.
Special state with great players, and the schools are definitely taking advantage of it.
McCullough could have kept that one,
Yep.
but elected to pick up the quick passing yards. That's Dontel Harris from Hammond Morton. He too headed to Marion. Greyhounds and Knights exceedingly well represented in this game, which is why hence coaches Karras and Keevers are here to check out tonight's game.
I know Chris really loves having the All-Stars practice on his field and stay on campus. I know the IFCA loves it. I think it's a great marriage, and hopefully it continues for many years to come.
Rolling pocket, McCullough. Good job to buy time and find his man. That's the touchdown receiving player in TJ Caldwell from Hobart. By the way, our ISC Sports Network cameras going back to the Brickyard at Hobart on December the 7th for the 5th playing of the America's Crossroads Bowl, featuring teams from the Great Lakes Valley Conference and Great Midwest Athletic Conference. Be sure you join us then.
TJ from Hobart going to Valpo had 846 yards, receiving at 13 touchdowns, had a great senior year.
1st and 10. Screen. Catch made. How about that tackle? The screen was set up beautifully. But blowing that play up was Oscar Kirch from Cathedral. He's going to play for the Butler Bulldogs. He's going to stay close to home and play this coming fall.
That's a great get for Butler. Oscar had 93 tackles, 11 tackles for loss. And again, if you're going to keep winning, like Butler has, like St. Francis has, like Marion has, like UND, you got to have great players, and Indianapolis is a great place to be able to find them.
And Oscar, a National Football Foundation Scholar athlete this year as well. 2nd and 9.
Bill Peoples does a phenomenal job at Cathedral. Again, what he does with those kids and what we saw last year against Lawrence North and Ben Davis, boy, they're a pretty special group.
Well, Oscar is one of 2 Cathedral kids that won the National Football Foundation Scholar Athlete of the Year. Danny O'Neill was the other, now at San Diego State. But Cathedral won a national award from the National Football Foundation this year for their team GPA. That's getting it done in the classroom and on the field. 3rd down and 9.
Cathedral is not an easy place. The academic rigor is amazing.
Love that creativity by McCullough. That's going to be a 1st down. That draws some applause from the north. Eli Deerdorf from KV makes the grab for a 10-yard pickup.
Great job of keeping your eyes downfield. McCullough never panics. Again, steps up in the pocket, throws it away from the defender. A super job.
Dayton Flyers going to be all right based on what we're seeing in this game.
Yeah. Well, again, they recognize the talent in our state, and they're here.
And they've always recruited this state very well.
No, they have.
Yeah, the proximity from Dayton to Indiana.
My good friend Jim O'Hara once played quarterback there.
And that one, however, a little bit errant by McCullough. Overthrows his man. That's the safety from Providence that might take this to the house. Brian Wall cuts it back, slowed down at the 25-yard line. Ball got ripped free. North might have gotten it back after all that effort. First turnover of the game, and the North gets it back. 1st and 10, and I think the offensive lineman that fell on it was Liam Lancaster of Peru.
All those guys, again, you talk about ball security. Great job by Brian. He really read it well, and Brian Wall, again, had grandeur, had some ideas of scoring. Ball just got away from McCullough a little bit here. But when you're in that area of contact, and again, the ball's loose there, you got to have 3 points of contact, and when you don't, they just knock it out.
Great job by Dontel Harris to keep playing and to knock that ball free.
Didn't quit.
So McCullough will stay on the field. And Harris, for forcing the fumble, gets the next play called for him. Although, didn't work out so well because he is snared by James Lewis IV.
East-West is difficult at any level, especially against this type of talent on both teams. And again, there's been more success up the middle, quick hitters, more off tackle. But when you try to get outside of that tackle, out wide, it's really hard.
Do you wonder what that logo on his helmet might be? That's the Thunderbirds of Eastern Green. Played in the 1A state final a handful of years ago against Jack Kaiser and Pioneer. McCullough slings it. Was that a catch? Yes. Getting it off the shoe tops was Deacon Diltz from Mississinawa. He's going to play for Indiana Wesleyan.
Deacon had a great senior year, over 1,000 yards, receiving 17 touchdowns on the year. That's a lot, folks.
So 3rd down and call it 5. As we approach 7.5 minutes left to go in tonight's game.
Got him.
The deep ball. Dilts has it. Went up and got it, as our friend Mark James would say at the apex. Takes down to the 43-yard line. Second biggest gain of the night for the North. And that's a first down at the South 43-yard line.
Great throw, great catch. I love the way that he looked him off here. Knew the safety would go with his eyes. Dilts did a great job of high pointing it, and just took it away from the defender. Good defense there. Just better offense.
Stefano Poku was in coverage. We've not called Dilts' name a lot until the second half, but able to make the play. Jet sweep on the handoff. Positive yardage. That's Brett Fuchs from Homestead. He's going to play for Trine. Our buddy Ben Cullen, Matt Land, the head coach at Trine, and of course, Trine's football team trying to match their basketball team. Won the national championship this past year.
Well, they're getting a good one in Brett. 1,551 yards of total offense this year for Homestead and Chad Zolman.
Played, of course, for the revamped Summit Athletic Conference this year that had kind of large school, small school divisions. Second and short. McCullough dropped. Adrian Colligbo from Whiteland. Of course, Whiteland, the runners-up last year in 5A.
Darren Fisher, just amazing job year in, year out. Adrian going to Purdue. Don't know if he's going to play, but I know that he'll get a great education there.
And where did you go to school?
Purdue. I only speak the truth.
I'm not disagreeing with you. World-class education. Now with its own campus in Indianapolis, in fact.
It does.
As of 12 days ago.
Yes. No, but I tell you what, I saw Darren before the game and having a good summer, and he's just won the class acts for us.
Derek Schultz of our ISC staff agrees with your assessment on Purdue University. Handoff. Pads pop should be good enough for a first down. Wyatt Woodall with the tackle. But again, the ball carrier does enough to pick up the first down yardage. And as Mr. Harris from Hammond Morton. Harris going into the third quarter. Had 9 yards rushing. He's had a little better success here in quarter number 4 as we're on to the halfway point of quarter number 4. Again, the outcome not in doubt. North is trying to get something positive going here, which they really haven't since the opening drive of the game. Make the handoff, jump pass, and just past Eli Deardorff.
Under duress and pressure, I thought Nolan did a great job of getting that throw off and almost got Deardorff running up the sideline.
Stay tuned. We'll have our blue-collar player of the game. Brought to us by our friends at Boilermakers Local 374. We are thrilled to have the folks at Boilermakers 374 back with us for a second consecutive year on the ISC Sports Network. Second and 10. McCullough again has a man. Catches this one, touchdown. Demario Spence for McCullough. It's his second touchdown toss of the night. And again, a little feel-good moment for the North.
Spence just ran by him. Again, going to Marion. Super job of staying on top of the defender, giving McCullough all kind of space to throw that ball. Good job by the North of just continuing to play hard.
The first touchdown since the opening minute for the North All-Stars. De Leon on for the extra point try. .554 to go in this one. Good penetration by the South, but kick made by De Leon. Well, let's recognize our friends at Endeavor Communications. I want to say congratulations to Braden Hunt of Danville for playing in tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. Danville's had a player in this game 4 years running. Endeavor doesn't just provide ordinary old internet service. They're blazing fast, high-speed, fiber-based service is a game changer. Don't settle for less. Switch to Endeavor for the winning play and connectivity. Visit weendeavor.com or call 6677. Endeavor Internet, your fiber connection, your victory. I want to thank our buddy Mike Scavara, that is always a helping hand for us at State Finals broadcast, does great work with the National Football Foundation's Evansville chapter, and has been a part of Memorial Football on the radio for a long time, helping us out with some stats and news and nuggets throughout the course of the broadcast. I want to thank Mike for his hard work and effort this evening.
Well, Mike has done a fantastic job at really bringing what's happening in the southern part of our state to us, and the knowledge he has is just second to none.
You know, we talk about this for coaches, kind of a get together for everybody. We do the same kind of with this group. From our standpoint in the press box, there's Terry Downham and his great staff at Kokomo, who do the stats for this game. Joe Hernandez, the SID emeritus, forever and a day at Ball State University, these days with Daktronics. Of course, what Mike does for us each and every year. For a second consecutive year, thanks to the good folks at Decatur Central for hosting us. But you also see a lot of the same great folks from the IFCA that make this game, a big deal every year. Bob Gaddis, even though he's retired as the head coach at Columbus East, still very active with the IFCA.
Bob is, and so is Bob Prescott. Bob Prescott is a young-sung hero with most of the All-Star game and how he does things. John Mallory plays a big role, but the IFCA in general has got great leadership, great association. I think one of the strongest and best in the country, and it shows with our sport how the growth of it has continued to happen. A lot of it's because of the IFCA.
Well, our friends at Coca-Cola of Kokomo want to congratulate Cole Shively of Triton, representing the folks in Bourbon, Indiana, in tonight's IFCA North-South All-Star Classic. Coca-Cola of Kokomo serves over 25 schools across north-central Indiana, keeping students hydrated in the classroom and athletes hydrated on the field of play. Find out more by logging on to cckokomo.com.
Jackson Gilbert back in at quarterback, probably for the last time this game, but see if the South can kind of run some clock here.
I'm not sure how many times either quarterback is throwing the football the rest of the way.
No.
It is 4-minute drill time for each of these two teams.
It is, and with the backs the South has, I'm sure Jake Gilbert is just okay hand the ball off at this point of the game as well.
South had 359 yards of offense in the first three quarters. I believe the game record's in the 430 range, to put it in perspective. Again, hand off to Thomas. Thomas dropped after no gain. Eric Pohl, we've called his name a couple of times tonight, helps to make the tackle. And it's third down.
I think right now, Jake wants to make sure this clock continues to run, as you alluded to earlier, about throwing the ball. If it does happen, it's going to be it's going to be a curl, it's going to be something that's going to be a high percentage and a great chance of completion.
He will throw it out in the flat, but nowhere to go that time. That's Caden Ollinger that makes the grab, and for a second time tonight, the punt unit will come on for the South.
We knew the North wasn't going to quit. I know they were down, and it doesn't. They're always going to come up a little short tonight. But again, they're representing themselves, the coaching staff, their families, the communities very well tonight. Both clubs are.
What is life like for these coaches? You're 3 weeks away from practice starting. First day of practice is August 5th. First game is August 23rd. What can these coaches do now for these next 3 weeks before the season really gets underway?
Well, you really want to focus on just making sure that the details are all done, and make sure you've got everything. The kids understand the X and O's part of it, and so they're ready when the pads really get on and it starts and the tempo picks up, because you're going to revert back to what you're comfortable doing. And so if you had a great summer and you've installed the right way, now when the bullets start flying and things get really intense, then things go smoothly. And these coaches do a great job of doing that year in and year out.
That was Jalen Pugh. We mentioned his name in an error earlier, but that was Jalen on the return from Hamilton Heights. Jalen going to go play at the Division II level at Ohio Dominican University over in Columbus. We've seen them in the America's Crossroads Bowl in the past on the ISC Sports Network. Raider, and dropped. Nowhere to go. And that young man, Mr. Schenkel, speaking of guys going to the Great Midwest Athletic Conference in Findlay, he's going to be a difference maker for the Oilers.
6'4". The length of Elijah is amazing. When he, again, at 225, folks, he looks good now. Give him 2 years, and he'll look like a different person. And but you can't, that twitchiness that he has is just amazing.
I want to get back to talking about his alma mater when we have the opportunity. 2nd down and 13 coming up here for Raider and the North. And a flag, which gives us a chance to talk about Franklin Central. All of us in the UIndy community, the Franklin Central community, and the high school athletic community at large lost a friend a few weeks ago when Larry Haney passed away. Larry had been retired as the AD at Franklin Central for a long time. I knew Larry primarily through his son Jeff, and all of us serving on the Greyhound Club Board of Directors together at the University of Annapolis. But if you ask any coach that was around for a period of about 20 or 25 years, they knew Larry and knew him well. Godspeed to a great man. Larry, we all miss you.
Larry is just very unbelievable at what he did, the lives that he affected, and he is going to be sorely missed.
Brian Wall didn't drop that one.
No.
Didn't return that one. Got his 2nd pick of the night. He may be making there's no official defensive player of the game. There's a North player of the game. There's a South player of the game. It may be a tough nut to crack to be the South player of the game. But how about that for 2 picks in the same game for the former Providence Pioneer?
It's a big deal. And again, talk about Brian at 6'3", 195. Again, in 2 years from now, he'll look like a completely different young man. Excited for him.
And he is keeping the traditional Providence look, which is the Penn State look from a helmet standpoint. White helmet, blue stripe down the middle. I was a senior in high school when both Providence and West Washington made the state championship games, which kind of like a comet for that part of the state. Doesn't happen all that often. Handoff. This is Maxwell. Speaking of going to state, did it each of the last 2 years at East Central, who will play at the 5A level this coming year.
And they'll welcome that with open arms. They, again, as tough and physical as they are, they can play up and not affect them. Now, again, they've had some great talent.
Class,
unbelievable. Yeah. Don't get me wrong there. But the physical toughness, they'll be fine going from 4 to 5.
2nd and 11. Stay tuned. Our post-game coverage will be brief. We'll have our blue-collar player of the game, brought to us by Boilermakers Local 374. Gilbert on the carry, and Gilbert will pick up the 1st down. You're probably one more 1st down away from getting into victory formation. I want to take this chance to thank our tremendous ISC Sports Network crew. Vince Morales, Brian Pierce, David Codd, Jacob Kripe, Eldon Wheeler, Eric Kinnett. Guys, thank you so much for the hard work. And again, we'll see you every Friday night for about 14 straight weeks starting on August the 23rd.
Cannot wait. Best time of the year. Cannot wait for training camp to start next week with the Colts or in 2 weeks. And I'm just excited about football being front and center here very shortly.
On the catch, that is Landon Ross. I think that was designed to get him a catch in tonight's game.
Yep.
Played at Covenant Christian. Landon going to go play at Carthage at the Division III level.
Landon had 11 touchdowns this last year and really was huge in how he played in general for Covenant Christian.
2nd down and 11. Handoff. Minimal is the gain that time. In fact, a gain of 2. That was Grayson Thomas. Tackle made by Levi Osler from Clinton Prairie. We reference the Prairie on the side of his helmet there. I mentioned Levi, kind of the hometown young man for the Albury Telecommunications guys. He's going to think our ISC cameras are everywhere. We've had all of his high school games, and now he's going to DePaul. He'll see us there too. 3rd down and 10. On the handoff, and again, North knew it was coming. Just a 1-yard pickup. See if the punt team comes out one more time. Looks like they will. Tomorrow on the ISC Sports Network, please check us out for little something different. The IRI Robotics final day from Lawrence Central High School. Kurt Darling and a bevy of analysts will join.
We were watching that again before the game. It looked like ring toss. I can't believe they can get
with a very engineering background behind it.
I can't believe they're able to get those machines to be able to function like that and be able to almost shooting a hoop, almost like a basketball. So it's just unbelievable.
Redmond was going to take the flag there.
Yep.
I think you may see it. We'll see if the clock starts again or if it doesn't. Was taking all the time off the clock that he possibly could. You know, this one has been decided for some time. He has not punted often. When he has, it's been pretty impressive. His first kick was for 42 yards. Won't have that level on this one, but his main job was just to get that one away.
Remember Cooper DeJean versus Nebraska? Yeah.
We'll see one more play, maybe two at the most for the North. And the handshakes, hugs, and pictures with family, friends that made the trip to Indianapolis from parts far and wide in the state of Indiana. And this is a wonderful memory. And again, for a handful of these young men, this is the last football game they'll ever play.
Done something since they probably were in second and third grade. It's a little emotional, really emotional on mom and dad.
Yeah.
as much as it is the athlete, and so but it's pretty special when you have a game like this that you can reward them for their incredible hard work and dedication, and a lot of things go into that, and mom and dad are a big part of that.
Little jet sweep here. And not much do it. That is DJ Young of Lafayette Jeff, and there will be no need for further action. This one's in the books. South wins it 41-14. Tonight's game on the IFCA Sports Network brought to us by Coca-Cola of Kokomo, North Central, Indiana's Coca-Cola bottler for over 100 years. By Endeavor Communications, internet speeds up to a gig. Learn more at weendeavor.com. By First Federal Savings Bank, a locally owned bank designed for your needs. By the Gridiron Gang, developing skills on and off the field. Look on to the originalgridirongang.com for more info. By the Indy Card Exchange, buy, sell, rent, or even invest at IndyCardExchange.com. By the Indy 11, World's Game, Indiana's team, and home on each of the next two Saturday nights. Again, 2-for-1 deals available on both Margaritaville night and Christmas in July night. By 9 Star Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew? By SEI Communications, Southern Indiana's most diverse telecommunications provider, and by Wabash College. Schedule your visit now at wabash.edu. Lance, your final thoughts on this one.
Well, we saw a record-breaking night. Most points ever in the history of this game, 55 by both teams combined. Offensively was a great night for the South. I think the game was well played. Hard fought. I was really impressed with how both teams just handled themselves. The coach has said the week was great leading up to it, and to see this type of game was something that's very proud as a former coach, and just watching the job that both Jake Gilbert and Kurt Chipman did tonight. Very proud of both them.
Time now for our blue-collar player of the game, brought to us by Boilermakers Local 374. Become a Union Boilermaker and be on your way to a great career. Find out more when you log on to local374.org. An easy choice. Garrett Sherrill, 9 carries, 3 for touchdowns, 103 yards in total. He is our blue-collar player of the game.
No one was happier than Chris Keever watching Garrett play tonight. He's really special. He's got a chance to. He did a great job for John Hart. Came in and was advertised as one of the best players in this game and lived up to it. And so very happy for him and very proud of his performance.
Now, frankly, that is our award that we give out, but we can also relate to you. There is a North and South player of the game, and then there is an overall player of the game. Not surprisingly for the South, Garrett is the player of the game, and he is also the overall game MVP tonight. Also make sure to recognize Nolan McCullough of Penn. He is the North player of the game. In terms of some quick other stats of note, Nolan McCullough had a total of 242 yards of offense, 195 passing, 47 rushing, did have both touchdowns. Colin Guy, Caden Allingreach had 5 catches for the South. 3 catches for 97 yards and a touchdown for TJ Caldwell. Leading tacklers for the South, Evans and Opoku. Straminsky with 8, the leading tackler for the North and for the entirety of this game. Lance, my friend, I know I will see you before that, but I look forward to seeing you 6 weeks from now at Lawrence Central High School.
It's going to be a fantastic year. Excited just to see the teams. I think it's the most wide open a lot of these classes have been in a long time. Anxious to see who steps up and who rises to the very top.
For our entire ISC Sports Network crew, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thanks for making us a part of this July Friday night. All South tonight. They win at 41-14. Thanks for being a part of it on the ISC Sports Network. Jackson takes the handoff, throws the deep ball. He's got a man. Catch made. Rolling, throwing, has a man. First down, the grab by Cyrus. Billingsley keeps. Billingsley spins away from the